music later because the game's kind of quiet right now. But yeah, there you go.
All right, let's just start this.
All right, who you want to play as? Do you want to play as dude with a giant nose or lady with giant boobs?
And giant butt.
Look at that ass! Holy crap!
Well, listen, I'm saying that she has more assets than he does, so.
Wow. Yeah, don't survive. It's fine. So birthday mode is the one where you have like technically infinite money by just going back to that same guy over and over.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can just start new. It's
usual
fine.
mode.
Dude, it's always our birthday. Heck yeah.
Welcome to Islandville.
2012 speed walking varsity champs. Speed walking, part of the Olympics.
Bullshit. It's not. I know it is, but it's not.
It totally is, but to me it isn't.
Loading.
Oh man.
It's gonna take a moment, all right? Listen, we're already halfway there.
I'm just saying,
Loading.
initially the game didn't look visually, how you say, big.
The island's pretty large.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's go. Watch out for Ron and his crazy wife.
What the fuck? What? What just happened? Are you okay? Oh, hit tab. Hit tab. You got a new message from Uncle
my
Phil.
God, this is already all right.
Oh, dude, look at your sleeve.
Ew, just like some Jotaro hat kind of energy here.
Oh, I love it.
Blending in.
All right, you don't have to actually read the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is just Uncle Phil
Good
telling you
old
that
time
he
nature.
used his immense money, immense wealth to buy everything.
Smartwatch tutorial. I get it.
Hit tab to
know.
get out, I think.
Money, messages, map,
Inventory, game stats.
stats. All right.
I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe walk
No.
around to the front.
I was gonna hit this.
Oh, there you go. Well, what were you doing? Were you not left clicking before?
I was a little distracted from my neck snapping backwards.
Yay!
Oh, hello. Oh, it's still happening. Oh,
What the
okay.
fuck?
It's still.
What is
Oh,
that?
okay. It's still happening. Oh, okay.
That
Oh, I
has
tried to
never
click. Oh, I
happened
tried to
before.
click on you.
That has
Wait,
never
slowly.
happened before.
Oh,
Are you clicking on them, or are you just snap, or is your neck just snapping when you look at something?
next just snapping.
Really? Oh, that's great. I love it.
Is it when I look at them? Oh.
Oh, look, there's a show starting.
Yo, what's up? Oh.
Just stop
No,
looking. They're like gorgons.
Yeah.
All right. Give me 1 second. I want to put on some like music in the background, just because it's so fucking deathly quiet at the moment. I did turn down the in-game sound, but I think but because there was some copyrighted music in there.
Oh.
Royalty free lo-fi. Why not? I put loyalty.
Royalty-free shanties.
They don't have that. That doesn't exist.
Fuck.
There we go. A wee bit of music. Here you go. I don't know. Like, look, I can look at them.
Yeah, I can look at that too, huh?
Yeah. See what? Like, I don't know. I guess that's just a parsec issue. Because I can look at them with no problem. Wait. Go, look at that. Look at that.
I'm not gonna touch my mouse. I'm just gonna move forward. Oh, look at that. And if I touch my mouse, no.
All right. Go through the door on your right, and let's see if the problem persists with any of the arcade machines. Yeah, like try this.
Nope. All right, I gotta finagle this. Right, I'll touch my mouse. There you go. Left click without moving.
Nope.
Oh no!
All right. It looks like we might have to pivot to teardown.
Oh man. Hold on. Wait.
You
one more
just
chance.
streamed this to us last
Enter.
time, right?
I did, yeah. I just played it. I just played it
Yeah.
myself and streamed it to you guys.
Oh.
I didn't anticipate this issue. All right.
Who could have anticipated this issue?
God's
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that for when I do it. It must just be a parsec integration issue. All right. So congratulations, Lawrence. You're not gonna play Teardown.
Yay!
Oh.
It is actually gonna take me a second because I do have to get everything all set up.
Oh man. I was kind of hoping for a coin game because I feel like with Teardown I'm gonna be thinking with an extra brain cell.
Yes, those
and one.
extra brain cells, you know.
I need all my 2 brain cells, okay? I can't have
all
both of them
2.
focusing. I can't have both of them focusing on a single game. But it's fine. We'll see how it goes.
This game has actual music in it, so I'm gonna pause. There we go. This should be fine. Let me turn this on for approved apps. Yep. No coin game, because apparently that doesn't work with Parsec.
Same.
OBS. Feed. What if I just changed? Yeah, I'm just gonna. I have a thing called Coin Game as like the source. What if I just change it to Teardown? Like just manually. Does that work? Does it work?
I'm seeing Teardown.
Yeah, it
I'm
works.
hearing some funky music.
All right, Lawrence, are you here? Can you see?
Yeah, I can
Are
see.
you in?
I'm here.
Are you alive?
No.
Oh,
Many of those questions, it's a yes. One of those questions, it's a no. Try to guess which one is which.
all right. Wow, the music sounds really. I'm just looking at the levels, and it's pretty loud for stream, but it's also good. So I guess that's okay.
Right, it might be fine.
All right, we should be good. Yes. All right. Lawrence, you should still have control. Yeah.
I'll do campaign.
I would, if possible, I would recommend starting at the very beginning of the campaign.
That is you. Oh, first person.
It
That's
is.
not what I expected at all.
Don't smash my TV.
Listen, you need to upgrade. What is this, brick?
It is like a CRT. It's true.
Box. Oh
He
shit!
broke. So go over to a wall. I think you can keep. I think it works if you keep doing it, or maybe brick is too hard for the
doing it?
sledgehammer. You could definitely do it to the window. So the frame of the window is metal, which you can't do. But I think
I think it still shakes it up.
I think it's
Yeah.
like tab or like scroll wheel. You should have more weapons. Yeah. So yeah,
What the friggity frack?
sledgehammer, spray can, extinguisher, blowtorch, plank. So the spray
Dude.
can is when you're doing a level, you can put like arrows on the ground to remind you where to go.
It is very useful.
Don't, Lawrence. Lawrence.
What?
Okay.
It's Squidward. It's Squidward.
That was a shockingly straight line. or not straight, like curved, I guess, literally, but
It's Squidward. Don't worry about it.
uh-huh.
Listen, trademark Squidward. Angry lines. I missed this curve here.
That's pretty Squidward.
Man, that's some detailed particles for a polygon game.
Excuse you, it's voxels.
Oh my God! There's physics in this. How's your
absolutely.
How's your computer not
It's
on
actually a
fire?
pretty good game, we'll say. So.
How is
This
your
is
computer
actually a
not
pretty
on
good
fire?
game, Saba
Well,
says.
so far, Lawrence has been saying, "Wow, for a
You have
pixel
limited
game, this is pretty
blowtorch
surprising."
thing. Oh, by the way, let it go. And look, now it's on fire.
Oh my God! Again, detailed fire.
You'll die if you stand in the fire too long. Nice, you used a plank. No, you click and drag.
Oh.
Let go.
Oh.
Nice, it clipped through the floor. So by the
That's
way,
one of
Saba, something that we never actually tried doing, not that it was ever really relevant. Oh, by the way, you're burning down the door of your warehouse. Good job. Nice. One of the things we never really did when we were playing this, one of the things that we never really did was you can use planks to have fire spread from one place to another.
Oh.
I never thought about like trying that, so.
This poor warehouse.
You have no ammo left.
Oh, did you want to just quickly give him the backstory for the game too?
I think he's playing off of my previous save at the moment. So I would rather go back to main menu and like reset the save first.
Oh, sure.
So like main menu, I guess.
Main menu, I guess.
There should be an option. I don't know, maybe under options.
There should be under options.
Game. Reset progress.
All right.
Is there only just one save?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever, it's teardown.
No, yeah, I was just asking though if there was.
There you go. So now Lawrence can get properly tutorialized while we begin. So the idea behind this game, Lawrence, is that you're a heistman.
A heistman.
Yes, but why? That's the real question.
I don't remember why.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Lord.
I think it had something to do with like his father being.
Why is it so shaky? You see that?
I don't know. Maybe he's drunk.
No, it's like whenever Lawrence moves the camera, the game's like vibrating.
Actually, I'm not.
Jittery.
Actually, I'm not touching anything at the moment.
Yikes! What's happening?
I don't know.
I'm just shaky.
You're
Bro,
scared.
Is that depth of field too?
Oh yeah.
Bro, this game is way too.
It's really pretty given the fact that it's all voxels, right?
It feels so resource intensive. Oh shit. Oh, there you go.
But yeah, something to do with like this person's dad, like going to jail, I think, and then wanting to take revenge or something along those lines.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I gotta make him innocent.
Gotta make him... I think he was innocent.
Replace
so
the
that's why,
fuse
yeah,
to turn on the
revenge.
power.
It's all the way there.
Dude, why is it so shaky? Wasn't this shaky like a minute ago, right?
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll get used to it.
It's making me sick.
Dang.
Yeah,
So
you could just open
you need to
door
knock down
once.
that tree because the tree branch is in the way.
It's actually in the way. Oh, all right. You continue to be in the way. Therefore, you must perish. All right. All right.
You power on now.
Hey.
I don't think you want to blow up your generator by hitting.
It's so shaky.
I think Lawrence is trying to recreate that tree, which he said was in the way.
What's up?
Okay, sure. Can we take a quick second?
Sure.
It's so shaky, and I don't know why. All right, I'm gonna boot you, Lawrence, real quick.
Oh my, okay.
Gonna have to
Yeah,
get out.
it's still shaky. It's just me. All right, so we're gonna quit out of the game and then relaunch it. Lawrence, would you mind rejoining?
Yeah, maybe I do mind.
Thank you, sir. All right, let me give you a keyboard and mouse. Let's relaunch Teardown. By the way, Blatant Insect from yesterday did follow, which I appreciate.
I did see that.
But for whatever reason, he didn't, or like the notification didn't come up.
Oh.
So I didn't get the thing. I didn't get the shout out, man. You know?
Sad. Sad.
Okay, let's try again.
Campaign.
So yeah, well, regardless though, I
It's
remember
shaky
the story.
already. Nothing's happened.
Should you maybe look in graph? Let me see.
There's input sensitivity
Barrel
somewhere.
distortion. I don't know what it is.
Sensitivity right
Smoothing?
there. No, smoothing would make it more smooth, right? Turn it up high.
Oh, head bob.
Sure.
No, let's try that.
Turn up smoothing too. Sure.
Yeah,
let's see what that does.
Description. No description. It's just that. Okay. Is there any save? I guess that's it.
Move around.
No, that appears to be good. I think it may have been the head bobble.
Are you doing controller or mouse right now?
Mouse.
Really? Okay. All right. Fine. This looks good enough for me. This looks good enough that I'm ready to begin the discussion today.
Yes.
Yay.
Discussion of.
What is a masterpiece? At least when it comes to video games. So we had already done a decent chunk of this conversation a couple days ago, which for the sake of posterity, we're going to have to rehash a lot of it as well. Oh, you pulled the big door open.
Oh, you strong man.
So yeah, I figured that's how we could start the conversation, talking about what the fuck we're even talking about in terms of like what do we mean when we say masterpiece? I don't think like the point of this discussion is mostly that I wanted to intellectually figure out if there was some sort of ephemeral thing that a quote unquote masterpiece has that a game that is really good doesn't. Because that was one of the things that I established. I don't know if Sabo agreed with me, but that was one of the things that I established very early on in the conversation the other day, was the idea that, dude, this fucking guy from Texas is calling me again.
Oh man.
Yikes.
I'm gonna block that number in a second. But like there can be games that are like 10s out of 10s. Like really, really, really good, like quintessential games that I don't think are masterpieces. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, there must be something that differentiates a 10 out of 10 from a masterpiece. And that's my intention with this discussion, is to get closer to figuring out what that thing is. So yeah.
That's that's very difficult to think about, just because what are the requirements for, first off, a 10 out of 10 and for a masterpiece, which is, I guess, is what you just said.
So you just need to knock down the building. By the way, if you want to do something real cool in this level, look to your right. Slightly to your left. Nope. No, too high. Or too low. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Go over there.
Oh,
go to your so don't start with this one. Go to your right first. Yeah, start with that guy.
What the hell? You can ride vehicles. Oh, okay.
It's just you can just and look at and keep an eye in the bottom right, because it will just give you controls. Yeah, go to town.
Oh.
All right. Anyway.
Oh.
So one of the things that Saba established relatively early on in our discussion previously was the idea that a lot of this discussion would be based on personal opinion, which I agree that a 10 out of 10 by definition is your opinion, right? Like some people would call Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 a 10 out of 10, but I wouldn't. I would call it like an 8 out of 10.
Like, there's very few things that I think the whole of, like, I don't know, the gaming community has agreed that's like phenomenal, and I'm like, okay, those exist, but for the most part,
but that's what I'm talking about.
Subjective.
Those things that like the vast majority of the gaming populace agree are really good. Those are the masterpieces, I would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's a I don't know. I guess that was kind of my point in the discussion, was the idea that.
I mean, it's kind of arguable if you're going based off of the community. I'm changing vehicles because I think I talked about my experience with The Witcher 3.
Not being that hot, despite the fact that that game everybody absolutely loves it.
Everyone
and I shared your exact
loves.
same sentiments, where I was just like, when I first played The Witcher, it didn't run on my computer very well, so I just stopped playing it. And then when I went back for The Witcher 3 again when it was on sale, I played it and I found it kind of dull.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, well, that being said, it could be. I could definitely see it being a masterpiece if you're a fan of the Witcher series, but if you go in there blind, not knowing anything about the Witcher, it does.
So it's the lore isn't
very little for
so
you.
maybe it isn't. It is like the reason why people really like the game, though, is it. I don't think it solely rests on the lore. I think it's the type of game it is as well, in terms of like playing and
like
and stuff
like it's
that.
definitely like The Witcher 3 definitely seems to be an excelsior within its own genre.
Yeah, like it's a standout in terms of like we're going to use, I think, the word exceptional a lot, but like it's an exceptionally good game when it comes to its genre of game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I guess so.
And because that's kind of the part that I also established when Saba and I were discussing this the other day, which was that there are probably going to be things that are widely considered masterpieces that we obviously don't necessarily agree with. But then there's also going to be things that I feel that we might not like personally, but can still recognize as being a masterpiece. And I think that's a really important distinction, you know?
Yeah.
So for the structure of this discussion, obviously we have 4 hours, so we can just fill this with whatever we want. But my figure was that we would probably do something along the lines of trying to more accurately define what a masterpiece is at first, and then go on an example by example basis. Because earlier today, when I was getting coin game set up, as effective as that was, earlier today when I was doing that, I went into Theta's chat because he was doing some speed runs in Celeste or whatever, or challenge runs in Celeste. I went in there and I was just fielding suggestions because he had like 17 people watching, and I was like, hey, what do people think? What do people think are masterpieces? And I got a lot of recommendations, a lot of ones that I feel like we could have really good discussions on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ha! What are you, the Joker?
I need you
No,
to just put a giant
Joker,
SOS, Lawrence, okay?
SOS. I'll put it on the side here, like a really tiny. That might be too tiny.
Yeah,
I'll do it again. Okay, that's a little too big. There you go. I'll make it stylish.
Nice.
SOS.
Please, someone help me. Anywho.
All right.
Yeah, that'll
Alright.
be interesting to hear those act, like what those
Yes.
guys.
What are your suggestions?
Well, I don't know if we want to start with that because we have our own stuff. Because, like I said, we have to rehash the majority of the conversation we had the other day.
Sure,
so
okay.
I figured we'd start with the stuff that we already talked about. Just in terms of, because it's like, I feel like the very first one that Saba and I both agreed on, smash it. The very first one that Saba and I both agreed on was Journey being a masterpiece.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of factors that go into that, because obviously I understand that there are some people within the gaming sphere that just don't like Journey because it's not shooty McBang Bang or whatever.
Not engaging, sure.
But not only is it beautiful and has beautiful art and like the gameplay is fun and all that jazz, it's also the fact that it's such a bite-sized experience that you can share it with almost anybody and they'll appreciate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's also profound in the way that like it doesn't tell you, right, the surprise of kind of like the game or the fact that you are journeying with like someone else. Because like
the instance where the first person shows up and you don't realize that it's another player, that's pretty fucking cool.
Because like I said, with my playthrough, I just stuck with the guy, right? And then at the end, they're like, you played with like this person. And I was like, what? Are you telling me I did all that embarrassing stuff playing around with someone else? Oh man, that got me real deep. It was really good.
You okay, Lawrence?
Yeah, this one is a little funky.
Again, really?
I think he's like, are you clicking like primary targets, office, harbor city, factory?
I don't know where any of those are. I think
he's just trying to. Can I have the mouse for a second? Let me see if I can do it.
Sure.
Yeah, so he's trying to just click and drag, but click and drag up. Yeah, for Lawrence, it's just immediately snapping to the bottom.
Oh well, I'll do it blind. I won't look at the map.
It's fine. You got time. Man, it sucks that both of these games that we had slated for today don't really work very well. Push comes to shove, by the way, I do have a plan C. A game that came out a little while ago and is currently very popular on Twitch called Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors.
It's $3. So if Teardown ends up being a no-go and we can't fill 4 hours with it, I'll just buy and download Vampire Survivors real quick. Good job, Lawrence.
Maybe that's what I wanted to do.
You dunked it.
Yeah.
Without our input, Lawrence will start developing like cool strategies. I know he will. Yeah, so anyway, Journey, I feel like, would be defined as a masterpiece for a multitude of reasons. But in enabling that part of the conversation, we enter in a second phase of complications with this discussion, which is that I don't know if any of us are really going to disagree with each other. Really?
Masterpieces? It would be hard to disagree just because the way masterpieces are, they have to be usually not that controversial to say.
I think that's probably pretty true. Like they're usually the stuff that we'll probably end up talking about are so exceptional that like we said, usually the whole of the community agrees that they're good. So we're probably going to be on a similar boat with
You'd have to be nuts to disagree. For example, Witcher 3 that we just talked about.
Where like I don't really have a very positive opinion on it, but I understand that it's probably a masterpiece. I just don't really understand why.
And that's where that objectivity comes in, right? Where you're just like, clearly there's something about this that everyone has agreed that there's something exceptional about it. That it's good in some way.
Which for the sake of this conversation is difficult, because I can acknowledge that it's a masterpiece because people believe it's a masterpiece, but I can't I can't identify why, because I don't share those opinions. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's like looking at sometimes famous pieces of art, sometimes abstract things. I just look at them and I'm like, I really don't get this, but clearly the whole of society gets this. So I'm just gonna let them do what they
Witcher
want.
3, which I wouldn't describe that as abstract.
No, I know. I'm just saying
on the nose stuff.
Things exist within this world that like people view as being masterpieces that other people are just like, I don't get it. So that was just an example.
I like how we're having... I didn't really think about this, but I like how we're having this conversation. Because right now, we're just in the just chatting category. We're not even... I'm not even, like, putting us in the tear down category, because it doesn't really matter. But I'm thinking about it. We're talking about, like, what is a masterpiece while playing Teardown?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
Maybe it is a masterpiece.
Well, because this brings up and I think we can start getting into some of the fundamentals, like not specific ideas, but some of the fundamentals that come from this. So, like for example, how long does a game need to be out and like available to the public before you feel comfortable declaring it a masterpiece?
Man, usually you could tell a game's a masterpiece. It's usually on the spot, yeah.
Kinda, because like the example, and I want Saba's answer, but like the example that I brought up, because this was something that people mentioned in Theta's chat, was Inscription. I think Inscription is really good, and I think Act 1 could be defined as masterful, but I think that the package overall in that game is too flawed for it to be called a masterpiece.
I think from like when you first play a game, I think you can see a potential for a masterpiece, but I think like a amount of time has to be given for like the whole of the community to like kind of, I don't want to say criticize, like, you know how critics have to like analyze it almost?
You have to give it some time. You have to digest it for a bit before you can.
You have to have like people like kind of come to a consensus about it. But you by playing it initially can kind of see if the potential for it is there, at least in my mind.
Because like a good example, I think I don't remember how long has Obra Dinn been out. Was that 20? That must be 2019, actually, now I think about it, because it won all those awards when I went to GDC. So that's 2019, so it's like 3 years old. That's long enough for us to say that Obra Dinn's a masterpiece, right? Because it's definitely been critiqued enough.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So, okay. So, it's not necessarily a hard and fast, like, time. It's just whether or not it's gone through enough critiques to be declared a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Whether it's been
What if it's like a what's it called when you have something that's like not really popular or successful at first, but then like over time it gets popular?
Like Among Us?
Well, kind of like Among Us actually, because like Among Us was out for 4 years before it blew up on Twitch, and then like it's been riding that high for 3 years. You know?
Yeah.
A cult classic. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Was the phrase cult classic. So what about something that's a cult classic that doesn't get a lot of critiques but is still really good?
I don't know. I would say like a masterpiece maybe you have to like, it usually masterpieces hit hard like from the beginning.
So it has to have some sort of like notoriety.
I think so, because like if it was a masterpiece, normally like those kinds of games like get like attention real quick. I think yes.
Because unfortunately I can't think of any examples like right off the top of my head right now for. So that's a. It didn't trigger the alarm.
Well, I mean, alarms are triggered with fire, yeah.
Fire alarm, large fires trigger.
Fires.
All right, sure, okay, never mind. Ignore me. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. By the way, you can smash through walls to find hidden money too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
Hopefully, you won't find some.
Because I guess just 50 Shades of Capitalism. Because I guess I'm just thinking about it from a idyllic standpoint. Oh, there you go. Literally just money stowed away in the wall.
If I can.
I mean, just smash the thing. And there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, look at that. $400 you just stole from this person.
Only should have hit it better.
To hit it in a wall. It was inside a wall. I feel like that's pretty well hit. It didn't even have an access. It didn't even have like an access like panel for them to get it later. They just like walled it up and were like, "All right, I'll come back for this later."
Yeah, there's no way anyone's gonna come in here with a hammer.
That'd be stupid.
That would be ridiculous.
But yeah, sorry. So in terms of like stuff that has notoriety, because I'm trying to think about it, and it's like, for the sake of fairness, I definitely feel like there are some things that don't have notoriety that could be masterpieces. They just haven't been recognized by the population at large yet.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you certainly have, like, and once again, I'm going to allude to, like, art, but, like, you certainly have, like, the Van Goghs, you know, where he, in his lifetime,
none of his
wasn't
stuff got recognized until he fucking killed himself.
Later.
You
so,
know?
sure, that may be the case, but if that is the case, we will not be aware of them.
I guess that's
like, we just don't know.
Well, what about, because, I mean, Van Gogh did actually have some fans while he was alive. What if we're using that analogy, what if those people came into this conversation and were like, oh, I think Van Gogh's Starry Night is a masterpiece.
And I'd be like, great. We would have to, like, you would have to, like, look into it, right? Because it's like, technically, if it's a hidden masterpiece, someone has to discover it.
Then why would we know about it? That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the point, so the aspect of this current phase of the conversation is that if it's an indie hit that we don't know, then we don't know it.
Yeah, we don't know. It could be a masterpiece. We're just like, yeah, we don't know.
Okay. Nice. Ooh. Oh, I think that capitalism painting you could have got for money, but you smashed it because you came in through the wall.
Smashed it. Went a little too hard on that.
By the way, Lawrence, so like as you're exploring here, but later you'll get more tools, as you saw, and you can come back to previous levels and do them, but with the new tools. And this level is fucking easy once you have planks.
Because you can just build up to it.
You can just build bridges.
Isn't this a pretty game, Lawrence?
I'd say this is a pretty game.
It has great lighting and particle effects. Like, everything in this game looks really good. It's just weird and kind of juxtaposed to the fact that everything's like voxels.
Yeah.
Although that being said, most of the physics wouldn't work if it wasn't voxels, so I know why they did it. Oh, something behind there.
Be gone.
Yeah. Titanium screwdriver. Anyway,
what the fuck?
Oh, okay, so that's time. What were some of the other examples that we talked about the other day? Oh, a good one, which I don't remember if Lawrence was privy to this part of the conversation, but Minecraft.
You mentioned that a little bit.
If Minecraft should count, yeah.
Because my argument was that Minecraft, as like a cultural phenomenon, is obviously very significant. However, I would argue that, like the analogy that I used was, if you have a block of clay that you know a sculptor is about to turn into a masterpiece, that does not inherently make the block of clay a masterpiece. And that is my argument against Minecraft, because Minecraft itself is actually quite dull. It's really only once you have like other players and mods and all this other stuff that gets thrown in that it becomes like truly exceptional, which in my mind doesn't mean that Minecraft is the masterpiece. It means that like the community is very strong.
I'm left at an impasse with this. So
this one's a little weird just because. Oh shoot. What am I? Oh no. Okay, that's fine. Because I don't know, because the community is able to do what they can with Minecraft because of what Minecraft can offer. So to say that,
but it's not what Minecraft can offer. It's the fact that they leave their modding tools open-ended, I guess. You know what I mean?
But it's not that then you're referring to just the mods being what makes Minecraft successful, which is not true. It does help. I'm not gonna say that mods are not helping out at all, because mods do help, but there's large swaths of the Minecraft community that just don't do mods, and they just play to play.
Because I'm thinking of stuff like the mega builds and whatnot, like where the people like make a giant cathedral out of blocks, and it's just like when I think about that, I don't think of that being like a Minecraft thing, because Minecraft is just about placing blocks. I find that to more be like, I don't know, like, is MS Paint like can you can make a masterpiece in MS Paint, but that does not make MS Paint a masterpiece itself, I guess, is my argument. because obviously like the thing that I'm thinking of in like counterance to this is something like Terraria. Because like while Terraria obviously is not nearly as popular as Minecraft, it has a lot of the same stuff, but with the added benefit of like a million bosses and like actual narrative progression. Like it has more substance to it, whereas Minecraft has.
Sure. It still has those substances. Maybe not as deep as Terraria, just because Terraria's angle is to that extent, while Minecraft leads to a more, I don't know, creative angle. I'm saying that kind of iffy because I know both communities can be pretty creative.
They can both be pretty creative, but the fact that Minecraft is in 3D does lead to a lot of stuff that you can't do. Because, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Minecraft is just a really weird one, because even me...
Holy shit, that fire. There. How did you not trigger an alarm?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That's great.
Don't worry about it.
You're fine. It's probably okay. Man, directly into the explosive barrel. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, that's great. Anyway. Oh, you already here.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, because you drove that little forklift thing, the green thing over in the corner. That's funny.
And you could tell from all the destruction here.
But yeah, like I don't know. I guess my implication is that I could probably be convinced that Minecraft itself is a masterpiece, although I would largely attribute that to it just being successful as opposed to what it actually has. But I would definitely if Minecraft could be defined as a masterpiece, I would definitely define Terraria as more of a masterpiece on the game level. You know what I mean?
But
yeah, because
can't really speak much for the Terraria side.
Terraria. It's in that office right there, yeah.
Well, here, Lawrence, like how me and Zach, I think, broke it down before is that, well, one is the idea of user potential, an idea that like we can attribute to something being a masterpiece. But it's like, if you think about it, without user potential, then like on its own, could we still say it's the same thing? Yeah, and I think that's where it becomes a little bit confusing, because it's like, normally when we think of masterpieces, we think of stuff that by itself objectively is really good.
Is inherently great, yeah.
But is the idea that someone could create something like amazing through people using it, could that also be considered a masterpiece, even though by itself it may not be?
I think that if you're able, if the game, this is gaming, referring to Minecraft, I guess, gives you the potential to do something great, I think that's what counts.
So what about something like Roblox? Where Roblox straight up allows you to upload your own 3D models and stuff.
It does.
It does.
Well,
Roblox exists entirely because of player created content and stuff. It's true that they developed the tools that allow you to do it in the first place, but I guess I'm thinking about it now. I almost would define Minecraft as more of a platform. You know what I mean? Because it is something on which you build the truly great stuff. But it itself is not inherently great, I guess.
It's kind of like Minecraft is the game builder, and then what people are making individually are the game.
More or less. Because Minecraft still does have a game, it can be quite therapeutic to just chill out. Dude, you found fucking money!
You fucking know it, dude.
How did you do that?
I felt it in my bones.
How did you know? You're just throwing a barrel at a wall. You're already done with your objectives.
I felt it in me bones.
What the frick?
Now I know I can break bricks. I can brick bricks.
Brick.
There you go. Look at that. He's just destroying everything.
So satisfying.
All right. The tension of the cables is keeping it up. So yeah, I don't know. Like I says, I could probably be convinced that Minecraft should be defined as a masterpiece in and of itself, but I would definitely come to bat saying I think that it's more of a platform than an actual game.
I mean,
For me, I think it's
because in that case, because like
masterpiece.
Minecraft is more of a game than Roblox, and then Roblox is more of a game than Unity. Because Unity is literally a game engine, whereas Minecraft is literally a game, and Roblox is in between. If that makes sense. Hit and run, no fun for Lee Sun.
At Lee Chemicals.
This is what you did, and look, it didn't even render all the damage that you caused.
Yeah, I made more damage than that. I did not make that damage. Someone else did that. Not me. I destroyed that painting. That's 50 Shades of Capitalism. Don't you dare cheat me.
That's really funny.
All right.
Yeah. What was another one that we talked about? Unless you had something else to say, Saba.
No, I think Minecraft ended up being really big. So, what else did we talk about? We did talk about like Okami.
Right.
Okami.
Well, I brought up Okami and Hollow Knight, because I would definitely say that Okami has more issues that I am not personally willing to overlook. But I brought up Okami and Hollow Knight in the context of
Like similar games that overstay their welcome.
That might overstay their welcome. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, as we did our playthrough, Okami probably should have ended after Act 1 and then maybe had a sequel. But instead, it decides to stretch its runtime to like fucking 90 hours, and I blow my brains out. But that being said, at least it was fun. Whereas Hollow Knight has so much content. It's like sitting at a buffet and just exploding to death.
And I mean, Lawrence, just to like clue you in here, is that when we were talking about this, I was saying to Zach, well, you may be the type to get like frustrated and say that like Okami overstayed its welcome, but by the way we like played it, right, also wasn't like the ideal, because the way I played Okami was like intermittently in like school and stuff, and I really enjoyed it, and I never felt like it was like a burden, like it stayed too long.
Because Saba was playing it on her own time, taking breaks when she got frustrated, if possible, you know, stuff like that. Whereas we were on stream and it was like, man, 4 hours of Okami a week, every week, with nothing in between.
So
which is a vastly different experience.
That
makes sense.
But the intent of this part of the conversation was mostly along the lines of, can something that is good overstay its welcome? Like if something is a really good game that just, you know, is like 10, 20, 30 hours too long, or stays 10, 20, 30 hours longer than you feel it should, is that a negative?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's a negative, but it's also incredibly subjective.
Yeah. Because one of the examples I was thinking of, because obviously I want to stick to Hollow Knight, because I would probably argue that Hollow Knight is a masterpiece, but man, it's really jittery again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know what happened.
Oof.
I don't know why it's doing that.
The more I break, the crazier I get, so I'm just kind of twitching.
You wandering around. Are you still twitchy? Man, you're so twitchy.
I'm super twitchy. Well, because like this path is telling me what the best path is, but I don't I can't really get a good look at it.
Right. I'm thinking about it. I'm wondering if, because you remember before that we had a problem with Parsec where like the drivers that Parsec uses to interpolate keyboard and mouse versus the drivers that I had on my native system were conflicting, and so no one but Saba could play on my computer.
You think it's the same thing here?
Maybe, but we would have to do more games to test, because this seems really weird. Because this is not what. Well, this is kind of what was happening with Coin Game. Because in Coin Game, it was also fucking with your mouse, right?
It was.
And this is making you like jitter back and forth. So I'm very curious to see. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Let's keep going for a little bit and until it gets too much.
I don't know. I might
you.
argue that it's already too much. It's pretty bad. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Saba?
I mean, I'm mostly talking, so I don't particularly mind.
I just hate that this is gonna be in the VOD. You know,
well, I mean,
just in case I ever want to refer back to this, I have to watch this jittery ass footage. Like, is it jittering for you, Lawrence, at all?
No, absolutely.
Okay, it is
100%.
All right. Well, if Laura, so at a minimum, let's have you finish the level, and then after you finish the level, we'll decide whether or not we want to pivot to Vampire Survivors. Plan C.
Plan C.
No, don't. Oh, careful. Look up. That's an alarm. As soon as you pick that up, that alarm goes off, and you have 60 seconds to get all of the targets.
An alarm. We should plan ahead. Breaking. I can't break the alarm box.
So that's why it's giving you a best path, because the idea is that you have to set up like holes in the wall and breaks in the floor and stuff to get all three of them within 60 seconds. Now
it's stressful.
now you're getting into the stuff that Teardown is actually about, which is setup. You have infinite amounts of time for setup, but once it comes to execution, you better perform. All right, anyway, I'm gonna like look away from the screen. I'm gonna look at my water bottle while talking instead. Your guy is fucking nuts. He's like
I'm a little crazy.
Just going through leak chemicals like a fucking maniac. It's really good. Holy shit.
Calm.
Anyway, yeah, because bringing up the like overstaying their welcome or whatever, I also just thought of the idea of games that are kind of immune to criticism, or like are more immune to criticism because of their length. Like, for example, if Journey was twice as long as it was, I don't think it would be a masterpiece, because I think it would run out of ideas way too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that the idea of like, you have to look at the whole package, right? That's what.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at, where like I think that Hollow Knight has some problems with its gameplay. I think that it overstays its welcome, but the game's fucking $15. And who in their right mind would complain about a game that you can buy for less than you can get dinner?
Yeah.
You know, because the game is like fucking 60 hours long with all the free DLC that they released and shit, and it's just like I can't even begin to fathom how like it's immune to criticism because of its price, you know. So does that make it a masterpiece? I'm not quite sure. Maybe, probably.
So what you're saying is that now price is going to be a factor.
That is what I'm saying.
Whether or not it's a masterpiece.
Because like if something is a masterpiece, but it's like $200, and obviously that's a hyperbole, but you get my point, where it's like, well, then maybe it's less of a masterpiece because it's expensive.
I mean, we can be objective about like the quality of something while also complaining about its price, right?
I guess so, because that was something that we talked about the other day as well, was the idea that a masterpiece doesn't have to be flawless. Dude, your jittering is only getting worse. I think it's every time you pause. Like, would you mind? Would you mind? I think I'm right.
Hold on, let's see. Oh my god.
Just whack that metal barrel right there, that red one. And just kill yourself.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just end
Oh my
yourself.
God.
I can't handle this. It's too much. Oh, it doesn't work. You don't have. Oh, you need a vehicle. That one.
Okay,
Perfect.
buddy.
Wait for it.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, I took
no!
too fat of a reverse. Okay.
All right. I can't do this. It's too much. Oh my god. I don't know why. That's really disappointing because I really want to play more Teardown. We'll have to figure that out at a later time as to like why that's happening. By the way, obviously none of these games have any sort of thing where it's like, hey, this doesn't work in Parsec. Because why on earth would anyone give a shit about that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna buy and then download Vampire Survivors. You guys are gonna love this game. I can promise you that. Is this even remotely up Lawrence's alley? No.
Oh boy.
Lawrence will most likely hate this, and I'm gonna have to be okay with that.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe if I hate it, I'll jump into the conversation way more than I usually do, just to distract myself.
An unexpected error has occurred.
Oh.
What the fuck? Why
Wow,
is today's
we're
stream a complete
developing.
trash fire? What happened? I'm so confused. Okay. I have purchased the game. I am now downloading it.
Let's just wait a couple more minutes before Zach's computer completely shuts down.
You're gonna jinx it.
Hey, he's
I
the
just
one that said things are going crazy.
I know I constantly use like the phrase like snap my own neck or detonate or explode or whatever. Like I say these things quite often to the point where it's just like I don't even want that. I don't even want my computer to just like catch fire. I want it to like sprout cybernetic arms and legs and just be like peace and then jump out the window. You know what I mean? Like just something crazy. Okay, this might be really loud.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this game looks like ass. I love it.
Oh no! What am I about to see? When I can see the screen again.
I don't know. I'm in the same boat as you.
I don't even know if this is gonna work. All right, video feed. I'm changing coin game again. Now we're gonna be playing Vampire Survivors. So have fun with that. Parsec. Here we go. Approved apps. No more Teardown. Yes to Vampire Survivors. Hello.
What the fuck?
Welcome to Vampire Survivors.
What is this?
So you'll see in a minute. It's not actually coming up on stream, unfortunately.
I feel like I'm playing a flash game.
Because this isn't full screen, is it?
It is not. You're right. But it's still not working though, and I don't know why. Properties. Let me try it again. Vampire. Yeah, it recognizes vampire. It recognizes Vampire Survivors.exe.
.exe.
Yeah, it just doesn't want. It just doesn't want to do it. So what if I did instead? Let me get rid of this. What if I did a window capture?
Ooh, yikes.
No, not desktop capture, just window capture. Vampire Survivor.
While you're doing that, I'll be right back.
There you go. It's in.
I see it.
Wow, that looks like ass. I have to do it windowed. I can't do it windowed. No, dude, it looks so bad. The game
Tech stream. No one show up.
No one show up, please. All right. Not transition. I need transform.
Mikey suddenly shows up.
Center to screen. Needs to be a little smaller. A little smaller, like that. Let me try that. Transform, center to screen. That's fine. That's gonna look okay. Today's stream was a trash fire.
Better that this stuff happens now rather than when Jesse.
I guess, but I don't know why these things happen. That's always the part that makes me more nervous, is the fact that I can't recognize why these things are happening.
For sure, yeah. Oh, I feel like
well, now we're just kind of chilling out, waiting for Lawrence. All right. I feel like I was so distracted by how fucking jittery Teardown was that I lost I lost a lot of the momentum in the conversation. I felt like I was just repeating myself a bunch.
You were distracted.
I was very distracted because I was like, man, this looks like garbage, but I know that Teardown normally looks very good. At some point during the week, we should... I'm not going to make any changes, but I'll invite you. And we'll see if it's the same thing as before, where it's I have to delete my drivers again.
We'll see, because it appears that half the time when I join, there's no issues.
Well, that's a good point. But I don't know why that would be the case. You're
usually immortal to parsec issues, Saba.
I know. I don't know why. You and I have very similar equipment.
The exact same computer.
Yeah, so I don't know what's special about me and not you.
All right. Are you ready to go, Lawrence?
I guess I am.
All right, get going. I'm not even going to describe anything to you.
Antonio.
Imelda. Oh, I have to unlock the... What the fuck?
Yeah, you have to unlock with coins,
Pascalino?
so you have to start with Antonio.
Gennaro.
Okay.
What the...
Use your arrow keys. Lawrence? Are you alive?
You're gonna die.
You got your one whip, so you gotta whip them. You gotta whip them, and they drop experience. You want to pick up experience. You're gonna die.
No, too close.
Look at all that experience that Lawrence is just... Yeah. All right,
level up.
Now pick an item. Okay. All right, so while Lawrence figures out how to play this, let's continue the discussion. Why is Lawrence muted?
He's taking in the experience, I guess.
I don't think he knew he was muted because I see his mouse moving.
Was I muted the whole time?
Yeah,
Yes.
you were muted the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Was I talking over you and you were annoyed? It's like, what?
No, I mean you guys were kind of answering what I was saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a champion. Careful of the champion.
There's a lot of things I'm gonna be careful of, don't I?
There is. You could get another whip. You could get an upgrade for your whip if you wanted.
There's one more projectile.
Ta-da! Now you wobble. Whap whap. Whap whap.
Watch out, bitches! I'm playing Castlevania.
That is yes.
This game's silly.
This game's great.
Very
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right.
This
Anyway,
is some big flash game energy.
So masterpieces.
Masterpieces.
Which clearly this game falls under.
Oh, I really hope that Lawrence makes it to the point where the game starts destroying my bitrate.
No, I want that to happen.
Well, you have
This ain't, this
you have
ain't a
to
parsec session until the bitrate
until the
starts falling
bitrate gets
apart.
annihilated. Okay. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. What was another example?
Fucking fuck!
What was
Anyway, keep
another?
going.
What was another example of a masterpiece
Cool.
that we were talking about the other day that we should bring up?
Oh my god, there's hordes in this.
I'm thinking about the pricing, like the thing that you said, like if
Should price
game
be
is good,
considered in
is.
whether or not something's a masterpiece?
Yeah, so like I'm thinking about a couple of games that are free. Oh shit.
That in theory should be immune to criticism because they're free.
Correct.
But
there are
Which
also
is
games that
probably
are,
not true because there's obviously some free games that are worse than games that are expensive.
because I'm about to say a lot of controversy with Halo Infinite. A lot
That,
of
I
stuff
wouldn't
with
define that
Call
as
of Duty
free.
Warzone. Those
actually,
those are free.
They're
the things that you
literally
guys
free
are-
in that they cost nothing to get into, but I definitely wouldn't call them free.
Because they have microtransactions.
Yeah, like in that, and like it's specifically designed to like try to get you to do the microtransactions and stuff. So
No, the microtransactions are all. I'm telling you
are
this
all
as a guy who
cosmetics. I
plays
know,
it.
but that's still what it's
Who
about.
plays it with friends. So I
Okay.
can tell you those. You don't have to.
Okay,
You don't
I
have to give a
think
goddamn
there should
cent.
be a caveat here. I think
That's what I'm saying. Like there should be a
as you guys
caveat.
talk about this, because I'm thinking of something just a tiny bit different. I think we can take into account who the creator is in terms of like whether it's like a giant company versus like someone
Like, did it
like
scale
singular.
appropriately
Should
for
a
the size of the
creator be a
developer?
factor?
In terms
size
of
of
like, let's
developer,
say, let's say like, oh, a single person, and let's say this is like a free game. I guess the amount that it costs can also like be applicable to what I'm talking about. But let's say a single person made like a free game, and in our
Minecraft.
mind, the game is actually like really, really good. And we're like, well, obviously the quality, let's say, of the game isn't like S tier, but like these other parts are like very exceptional for especially someone solo to have created this.
Okay,
get what I mean.
so the development cycle of the game would be factored into.
Like sometimes we could say,
Okay.
oh, this is a giant game that like was put a lot of money and backed behind, and we're like, okay, it's a masterpiece,
Assassin's
right?
Creed
A lot of people put a
Origins.
lot of a lot of people put effort into this. It's like it's normal, you know, like when that much effort
It's
is put into it.
expected.
It's kind of expected, right? So it's like
Oh, pick that up!
occasionally
Pick
when
that
you
up!
find
It's a chest. No, you're
I'm
gonna
a little
die.
surrounded. I'm a little surrounded,
Well, then
so I
stop
am
being
unable to grab
surrounded.
that. Oh yeah, let me just click the button that says "Get away from me."
There is. It's right there on your screen. It says quit.
treasure found. But yeah, so it's expectant of like, you know, bigger companies. So like when it's like a solo or like a very small group like make something, the idea of like it being exceptional can be like more, I don't even know what the word is, but
It's gonna be
Yeah,
difficult to
who knows?
judge because even if one person made, let's say, an indie game, and it's still like okay at best, I wouldn't.
No, if it's
really
okay, it's
exactly call it
okay.
if it's okay, it's okay. But
it's
not
more like
quite
Lord's.
masterpiece.
Imagine like finding a super impressive game, then you discover that one person made it, and you're
one
like,
person made it.
"Dang, that's like super great, right?" It's
Yeah.
more like being more impressed by it because like this exceptional quality came out of one person.
yeah, I guess that would count.
That makes sense to me.
Well, I got Tokyo
And
Drift and shit.
maybe this doesn't like actually impact us like reviewing whether or not something is exceptional, but it does make us feel more impressed by it. Maybe.
I would definitely be incredibly impressed if a single person made a game that's really good. But of course, it still has to be really good to be.
I mean,
masterpiece quality.
Hollow.
Cobra
Oh,
Diddy
that's
was made by
that's
one
turkey.
person, yeah.
That's health. Down to the left.
Oh,
Yep, that's health.
I thought I was about to yell at you like, what? I know you're hungry, but or
That's
no, I'm
turkey.
hungry. Turkey.
But yeah, like I don't know, because like you bringing up the size of a development team just makes me want to bring up what do you calls it, Hollow Knight again, because Hollow Knight was developed by the actual dev team at Team Cherry is 3 people, and then they hired a single musician to do all the music in Hollow Knight. So by all accounts, Hollow Knight was developed by 4 people.
Which I would say is very impressive.
Which once again, you factor in like the fact that it only costs $15, and it's like, holy crap. Anyway,
That's pretty good.
it's pretty good.
The game really wants you to get that chest, Lawrence. Go get that chest.
Yeah. I can feel it like an arrow pointing at my screen.
Yeah.
What could it be?
Another whip.
A third whip. Put this on your mouth and start whipping your head around.
There are some items that I'm familiar with in this game that I'm hoping that will show up eventually. They haven't showed up yet. But anywho. All right. What was it? Was that all the examples that we covered the other day? Like, have we caught up?
From what I remember.
Because there's one other part of the discussion, or one other part of the thing that we discussed the other day that I think is important to reiterate now, where Saba and I, obviously we're not authorities on this subject, but I think that the thing that Saba and I both agreed on, knife is really good, by the way. The thing that Saba and I both agreed on, which I'm pretty sure Lawrence will also agree with, is the concept that individual components of a game can be done masterfully. But it is having a sufficient amount of masterful components that causes something to be a masterpiece. So, like, just because the music in Halo 4 is very, very, very good does not mean that that game is a masterpiece on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then once again, that factors into the idea of, like, just because like a masterpiece doesn't need to be flawless. It just has to have enough masterful parts to qualify.
Yeah, like some parts of it have to be so exceptional that you can't, like, you can overlook certain things. Ooh.
You just killed 2 bosses
Just
with
for
that. Good luck getting those.
They are.
There's floor chicken.
There's
Oh,
floor
and the bag
chicken.
of money. The bag of monies are good. Yeah, they're 10 gold coins. So after this, you can buy new characters and stuff. Anyway,
all right.
Try to make your way to the bottom right again.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stuck on the tombstone. Fatter hitbox than I thought.
I think that this game was made in RPG Maker. Because I recognize some of these sprites as like default assets.
Oh, see, I believe that.
Oh, you got 3 items.
Whoa. Ooh.
Get Pog, dude.
Let's see them shiny.
2 axes and a knife.
Double axes. 103.
Let's do it again.
Aww. I think you can get up to 5 items in a chest.
5, that's pretty pog.
Knife again.
More projectiles.
Knife
right.
projectiles.
Santa water.
I like Santa water.
I like the name.
Okay. Let me just for the sake of posterity, let me just Google some stuff about this so I can help you out later.
Oh, that's a boss man. Be careful.
But for right now, we should be good. Man, I spelt literally every word of this Google search wrong.
Oh no.
Oops. Alright. We got...
Did you see that one guy just being pushed by all the bats?
Yeah, he's gone.
He's flying out.
He's out of here.
Okay, what do you got right now? You got whip, you got holy Bible, you got axe, and you got knife, right?
Oh, Kia.
You want...
I think King Bile may be better.
Okay. You are
Look,
looking.
you got 2.
You are looking for either the candelabra, the hollow heart, which will be like a black heart, the
Money bag.
not you.
the gloves, or spellbinder. None of which I have seen yet.
None of which
So-
has existed yet.
So we'll keep those in mind
That's a
for later.
giant mantis.
The
There's
giant
a giant
mantis is the boss.
mantis.
You kill him, you get a chest. Good luck with that, though.
Oh, and the flowers are squeezing in closer and closer. Be gone, beasts! Holy shit.
Ooh, that
Lords,
was
I think that's an out. Wait, well, you know.
You can squeeze. Yeah, there you go.
I'm out of here.
All right. So yeah, are we good to move on to other examples? Because I have the list. I don't know if you guys have anything that you want to bring up, but I have the list that was compiled from Theta's chat earlier.
Okay.
It's
Okay. Let's hear that list. Let's hear that list, buddy.
God.
Let's hear that list. Let's hear that list.
He died. All right, that's fine. All right, let's do a little bit of purchases
Get that
first, and then we'll
old
move on.
school game over.
All right.
know
Oh,
what?
you
This
did.
game's actually
You
not
unlock
bad.
You unlock new items. Okay.
Ah, that's how you do it. Okay. Okay.
Empty tome, which is important. Crown, which is important.
Just want to keep seeing all these
The
achievements.
wings is important.
Level 5. Let's go.
The hollow heart. So you literally just didn't have hollow heart. Okay,
Got 10 minutes. Ooh,
let's hit done.
I want to see the achievements.
We already looped through them.
Oh, it's already looping. I don't know. Did that?
All right, so go to power up. No, go
Oh,
back.
power up.
Yeah, we can go to power up real
Alright.
quick. All right. So you can see that these are
Oh.
so this is just so you can get a visual identification of stuff. So hollow heart is the black one, right?
Oh, it's just max health.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
we
you can
only have 400.
So we don't need these right now. I would highly recommend getting characters first, but I just wanted you to see these so you can recognize them later.
Sure.
So you can hit back if you want. Just at the top. Yeah. Now you can get different characters.
Oh, they're all like,
Ooh,
except for that one person that was 500. But the rest of them aren't that
10,
bad.
500. This one looks like a giant armored knight with a giant axe. Oh, at least I hope that's an axe.
Let's see.
Upside down.
Nope, it's a mage.
Oh, fine.
You can afford Imelda too, if you wanted.
So they have a weapon called Rune Tracer.
Ooh, it bounces.
It bounce.
All right, so let's go with the list. What was the list that people had? So we're just going to be talking about like, will we consider this a masterpiece? Why or why not? One of the ones that was suggested relatively early on that I thought was really intriguing was Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh man,
Plants
vs. Zombies was. Oh, we also have to. I think to mention this, Lawrence. We also are gonna take into account context of when like the games came out, because
And also its legacy, but yeah.
yeah, Plants vs. Zombies was like really like big when it first came out, and it is incredibly fun for what it was worth. Because it was free, I believe, and then
I don't know
it
if it was
boomed
ever
after a long
free.
time. It was free.
It was
I remember
really?
back in the day. Yeah, when we got it, first one was free. I think once it became big enough, they were like, okay, maybe we should actually like have this cost money.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, just because like it was PopCap produced. I don't remember them ever giving anything away for free.
I mean, from what I remember,
Would
yeah,
that'd
we
be
got the
really
first
funny.
and
That'd be really
second
funny if
one.
you just got it as like a gift from a relative, and you're like, "Oh wow, this game's free." That'd be really funny. But anyway,
I don't know. I
Is
may
there-
be completely wrong, but my
there a way to
memory
double
reminded
check
it was
that?
free.
Is there a way to double
I
check
mean,
that?
I could Google was Plants vs Zombies ever free.
It's free.
Let's see. You'll have to give me a second.
Yeah, because it might be worth checking out if one of the factors is money.
Hey, listen. Was PvZ ever free? Question mark.
See if my memory.
Is Plants vs Zombies free now? No.
Yes, that's now. Before, when it first came out.
We sure are. That's why you can now get the classic original Plants vs Zombies Game of the Year edition for free starting today from EA.
I mean...
Plants vs Zombies originally came out with a free and a paid version. The free version did not include all the levels nor all the plants.
Huh. So they had both, I guess.
So they had like so essentially it was like the game and then a demo. All right. Well, that's still interesting.
But Nala has good memories for the demo, so.
And I've got.
I mean, because the game's good.
Apparently.
It makes sense. By the way, red crystals I think are 100 blue crystals.
So
you're gonna want.
see if I can.
So it appears that each character has like different skill sets, or
they
like
start off with different bonuses.
Fireballs.
Well, he has fireballs now because he unlocked the fire wand in the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like a mage thing.
Well, this person every 10 levels they get faster spell casting, and that's like their passive. Boom! Look at that. You see that big jump
Rich.
in XP?
Rich.
You want spinach. So now that you have spinach, you want to get your fire wand to level 8 so you can see something real cool.
Now that you got spinach, you need more spinach, okay? Never stop with the spinach.
No. It's like literally the opposite of that. Now that you have one spinach, you want more fireballs. Because then you get to see the reason why this game is so popular on Twitch. All right, anyway.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, Plants vs Zombies, I don't know, because it's just fun. Like, that was like one of the things where I remember when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a designer at PopCap back before they got bought by EA. Because all PopCap games for a really long time were just pure fun. Like almost as if they were like arcade games, but not. Because you had stuff like Chuzzle, Peggle, Bejeweled. They did Bejeweled, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just like it was just like PopCap was like the kings of just making a really fun game with like, I don't know, didn't really need narrative, didn't need nothing else. It just was fun in and of itself. And I really liked that.
Fun is fun.
It was
with that.
incredibly fun.
I don't know if I don't know. Do you have anything else to say on whether or not we think Plants vs Zombies is fun? Yes, no?
I think it obviously, at least for what you're saying, like Bejeweled and other stuff, I think even then, like, Plants vs Zombies has more sustenance or substance, I guess.
More sustenance.
Substance than like
Saba's the zombie now. She's like sustenance.
She's here somewhere in this level.
But I think it had more substance in Bejeweled, and like for what it was worth, like it was a really unique idea. On top of like the mechanics, which did make it really fun.
It was a tower defense game before tower defense games like blew up in popularity. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the reason why tower defense games became so popular.
So
for a while.
maybe that's that's also something else we can help like put in the idea that it is a masterpiece because it almost defined. It's almost like a legacy kind of thing, you know?
Sure. Reduced weapons cooldown means that they'll fire quicker.
I think you want to get out of the ring.
Well, the plants will eventually despawn as long as he doesn't die. You can see that your fireball is doing extra damage though.
There you go.
Plant.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it now because now I'm thinking about like.
Is that bird following you?
Yes, that's one of his weapons.
Yeah, it's the one that's shooting projectiles all over the place. Like a mortar strike.
Funny.
What about something like Kingdom Rush?
Ooh, now that's a game I played.
Now is that is that a masterpiece? It has flaws. But
Plants vs Zombies had no flaws.
Well, I mean, I will say that whatever flaws it might have, other people might argue that that was like part of the aesthetic. You know, so I don't really know whether or not.
Yeah, when I played Kingdom Rush, there's not really outwardly bad flaws or any flaws. I just had fun with it. I didn't really have any problem with it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Would Kingdom Rush be a masterpiece?
I don't know enough about the game.
And this is just the one game, right?
Well, because
Not to see it as a
yes,
whole.
obviously they ended up doing like a million games, but I would get the Magic Wand personally, or Spinach. Spinach is also good because Spinach just increases your damage.
I want something new. So that is what I will choose.
Well, because all right, never mind. You're fine.
Something new.
What was I gonna say? Because
Is Kingdom Rush a masterpiece?
I don't think so. It's
You don't
good.
think so?
It's very, very good. But I don't know if I would call it a masterpiece. But I don't know exactly why I wouldn't call it a masterpiece.
I see your point. I don't know. It's just good, but masterpiece quality. I don't know. I feel like it has to go above and beyond to reach that state.
Yeah, and I don't think it does. I don't know why, but I don't think it does.
Oh, thought I could cross there. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
No damn.
Well, in that case, I guess we can move on to the next one. What was next on the list? Next up on the list was Sabi's immediately gonna go no, but Dead Space 2 was something that people recommended immediately. Because
Is that
Dead
the one
Space
with the
2
whole
is
tentacle phenomenal
real
animation
fucking
thing
good.
or whatever?
What?
Is that the one with like that cutscene that everyone keeps talking about?
There's a lot of cutscenes that everyone keeps talking about. I can name like 3 off the top of my head with Dead Space 2.
Man, I watched a video. I told you with this like giant like arm tentacle thing, like grabbing the guy's leg and like dragging him through a
That's
thing.
probably all Dead Space games.
Great. Okay. I guess
Whether because you just lack the vocabulary to properly describe it, but you're being so non-specific, I could just be like, yes. I don't know.
Okay,
Like
'cause I
you're talking about like, oh, it has a
watching,
tentacle that like grabs a guy's leg and pulls him into a thing. I could also be like, yeah, that's carrion, which is not Dead Space 2.
I don't know. I watched I watched like a video where I think the director or whoever was talking about like this being the first type of like cutscene like that, where they had to like implement so many different stuff, that it was like so big scale. It was interesting to look at it. I just don't know
It's so
from which
non-specific.
Dead Space is. Maybe I can look it up.
If
You know
Saba,
what?
if
Let me do this as you talk
Saba
about
was a
it.
grifter, like, and she went to GDC and she had to like, you know,
Yeah,
try to
I would
ingratiate
not.
herself among like the game devs, she'd be doing an excellent job because it's so non-specific that I can't say that you're wrong, but also I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So yes, I'll agree. I guess I don't know. You know,
If you can find that specific clip though, Safa, that would help tremendously.
Dead Space 2 is the one. Obviously, it's like the Necromorphs and it's in space. Everybody knows that, obviously, because it's Dead Space. But
Dead
it's the
Space.
like I think the most famous cutscene from it is the one where you have to like stab yourself in the eye with a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dead Space 2. It's also the one where you have to shoot a bunch of children.
I'm thinking of the correct.
I would definitely take Rune Tracer.
Who did I
But
find?
yeah,
here?
because it's like Dead Space 2
You just give me a
so-
flashback of me shooting children in Dead Space.
You do, because the children have turned into
no,
necromorphs.
I mean that's exactly why I got that flashback. It's like, oh man, I remember reacting to that.
You forget about it. You forget about the fact that, and like the game does this really great thing because it's like I think that a lot of people would qualify the worst like type of scare in a horror game being like a jump scare, right? Because it's more often than not cheap. I was watching a video the other day where the guy was like, we should really stop calling them jump scares and just call them jump startles, because it's not
Jump
scary.
startle.
because it's not scary, it's startling, and that's just like a natural reaction. Whereas like something that is scary is like something that has like, you know, it has like actual, it has like dread and atmosphere that gets built up over time and stuff, and then it gets paid off, and you just, and like you're so terrified of just the circumstance that you're in, as opposed to the fact that Freddy Fazbear jumps into your face and goes ah, you know. But then again, the Five Nights at Freddy's does some other stuff that make it quite good as a scary game as well. But anyway, but Dead Space 2 does like so many things correctly, like textbook, in terms of how to like build up and set up a horror atmosphere.
Oh, not again! Speaking of horror atmosphere,
He's dead.
No, I thought I could charge in. Don't know how to escape from that. It's really, really difficult.
You need more weapons. You got you have Rune Tracer as a regular weapon instead of a starting weapon. So that's good.
Here, Zach, I think it was.
You don't have enough for Gerardo.
I also want to see what Saba's putting in. Almost killed the game. What? All right.
It was interesting. I watched the video. Yeah. Although I linked it to like the part where I think it was showing the cutscene.
Oh, this.
What cutscene was she talking about? Lawrence, please help.
Hold on. Oh, is that the one scene?
I think so. Like he was talking about like a drag path and like stuff like that.
It's the scene where there's a hallway and a giant tentacle comes from around the corner, grabs your leg, and you gotta shoot the tentacle off.
In Dead Space 1 or 2?
Away.
I think it's 1.
I'm about to say, because based on what I'm looking at on the thumbnail, that looks like Dead Space 1.
It does look like Dead Space 1.
Which I think
2.
I only ever played once, which might be why I didn't recognize it.
Shame. Oh, somebody's playing for me.
Well, I didn't want to just sit there. Sorry.
I thought that was interesting. The video later, Zach, if you want to take a look at it.
Perhaps I will.
But yeah, I don't have much to say about Dead Space. I know it was like a big deal due to its like the way enemies
2.
could kill you and stuff. Just in general, though, I mean.
Yeah, because like the necromorphs just as like an enemy design were so revolutionary because it came out during the height of the zombie craze, where if something was undead and horrifying and an enemy, you assumed that you had to shoot it in the head. And they specifically made it so that way not only was shooting them in the head not effective, it also was the fact that you had to shoot them like everybody knows that you're supposed to shoot necromorphs in the limbs now. Because in every Halo, in every Dead Space game, relatively early on. By the way, you're muted, Lawrence.
No, Lawrence, again.
He's good.
I don't even know how that happened. You know what? Forget it.
I just looked over and I was like, yeah, he's muted. Anyway, but I don't know. Not to ramble, but I guess just my point being that Dead Space has really good like atmosphere, and like they do an excellent job of setting up their atmosphere, and then like the enemies are so specific because like one of the reasons why headshots are so prevalent in video games is because it's an easy target to recognize but a difficult target to hit, whereas like with necromorphs, when you're supposed to cut off their limbs, it's also a difficult target to hit because they're constantly fucking wigging out and just waving their arms around like because they're monsters coming after you. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, man, that's a really clever idea.
I do gotta ask, because I agree with all your points, but they're not all specifically Dead Space 2. That's just Dead Space as a whole.
Right, but like so Dead Space 2 would, but Dead Space 2 is the one that's considered to be the best of the three. So that's why I brought up, or not why but that's why I guess the chat brought up Dead Space 2.
I guess so.
Because Dead Space.
Do you want to bring
up
the idea to Lawrence about concepts of games, like when we were talking about Tetris?
Oh yeah, I guess we can. That was something that we talked about the other day that we never really brought up again. But because that was one of the things that I brought up was I asked whether or not Tetris was a masterpiece. And Saba was asking, well, do you mean, like, which Tetris do you mean specifically? And I thought about it, and I was just like, I think I just mean, like, the concept of Tetris overall. Because obviously, like, the most recent and largely considered best version of Tetris is Tetris Effect. But I don't necessarily...
Yeah, I was like, I think we should go, at least for games like that, it has to do with, like, the base concept of, like... Because, like Zach was saying, like, he was also asking about, like, well, in that case, it's like Pong.
Is Pong a masterpiece? Not necessarily because it's a good game, but because it's definitely stood the test of time. You know?
And then I think I brought up the idea of, like, originality and, like, complexity. Because I'm like, Pong is a really, really, really simple game that's based off of something. Yeah, it's based off of something that already exists.
The easiest of the Olympic sports.
To which you say, but still. So I would say Pong isn't a masterpiece, whereas Tetris I think has enough complexity to be, or like the concept of Tetris or the puzzle that it was based off of.
I certainly haven't seen any Pong variants nowadays, but Tetris for sure, that definitely stood against the test of time.
People are still obsessed.
People are still obsessed. Everyone knows it. You could be born yesterday and you're like, oh, I know Tetris in perfect vocabulary.
See, that's the thing. So the concept of Tetris has stood the test of time, right?
Also, I don't even know. I didn't even completely read what item I just chose, but
you chose Crown, which makes it so that way whenever you pick up a gem, now the gem is worth 7% more.
Oh,
so these gems are now worth 1.07 gems.
That's okay.
Well, considering you can stack it up to 8 times, that's pretty good.
I suppose. Oh, they're ruining my route. Anyways.
They're ruining my route.
You can see I had a pattern going. But yeah, Tetris, definitely. I would call that a masterpiece. Still against the test of time. Still being created and competed for now. I don't know about competed.
They definitely, I mean, they still do like speed runs of it, which I think is like pretty admirable.
Oh, this is poor. Oh, never mind. I got lucky
timing.
But yes, you were talking about what were we talking about before Tetris? Oh, is that?
Pick up that rainbow bag of money. Yeah, it's 100 coins.
Is Grant a masterpiece? That is correct.
Oh, Grant's here. Hello.
You should join Parsec to see what game we're playing, Grant.
I thought we were starting at 2. How long have you guys been streaming?
We've been streaming for about an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Ah, well then.
Yeah. We talked about it at the end of stream yesterday because we figured that with us not really doing what you calls it, we would just start at normal time, and then I asked, hey, do you guys want to start a little bit later than normal? So we started at noon Pacific instead of 11 Pacific. Lawrence, I need to pause so I can let Grant in.
Man, you have missed a bunch of this conversation though, which is unfortunate.
We will not be repeating most of it.
Roll it back.
I refuse to repeat most of the conversation. There's too much.
Hi guys, welcome to the Sunday stream.
Yeah, do it again. I wasn't here.
Yeah, from the very beginning. All right, so we have to go back to Coin Game. So Grant, by the way, the game that we're playing right now is the 3rd game we've tried to play today because Coin Game. There was like whenever Lawrence looked at something that he could interact with, his character just immediately snapped to the sky, like with the camera. Awesome. And then when we were playing Teardown, it seemed to be that every time he paused the game or opened up like the map and then like brought it back, his character was jittering more and more. Like he was his character was going insane.
I like to it's the idea of the more I look at the map, Everyone's like, I'm excited. Let's go.
To the point where, like, you know, I do like the funny, like, haha thing of like shaking the camera around sometimes, just to be like, lol, isn't this quirky? But the jittering of the camera was legitimately making me sick. So,
It got a little bad.
but anyway,
Here we are.
So yeah, so as I informed you previously, Grant, we're currently in the midst of the conversation about trying to define what a masterpiece is in relation to video games, and then just going through like specific examples and like just discussing them to see if we can narrow down our definition of a. By the way, this is the game we're playing.
Cool.
It's called Vampire Survivors.
Isn't this a great game?
I honestly, I thought I would hate it, but it kind of slaps.
It's
I'm not
kind of,
gonna
it's just
lie.
therapeutic. And by the way, $3.
$3.
Not bad.
Considered a masterpiece.
Oh my
Consider it a
God.
masterpiece. But yeah,
bats. Yeah,
pick
that's
up that red. Yeah, look at that red gem. Boom.
There we go.
Oh, hey, you leveled up. Come
You
on.
want
I want
bird
more
or magic
bird.
wand?
Because I love the bird. It's just artillery.
Oh, there's a medallion over there. You want to
There's a
pick?
thing
It'll
there.
kill everything.
There's the
I need a second to make a big Yui.
A big loop. Oh no.
Oh, I need a fatter
Make a
Yui.
Randy. Make a Larry.
Make a Larry.
He's coming
Now I
in.
need to make a Randy.
He's gonna do it.
No.
It was above you.
I think you have to go up.
There it
Yeah,
is.
right there.
Oh,
Get it! Come on!
You're fine.
oh, that
my
was
God.
But now,
ballsy as
but
hell.
there's turkey to your top left or top right. You want hollow heart to upgrade your to upgrade your whip. There
it is.
Hopefully you can make it to that floor turkey before you die.
Alright, I need my bird to start flowering. There you go. I can live a little bit longer.
Oh my
Anyways.
goodness, it's so spooky. But yeah, anyway, so examples of games that we've already discussed in terms of whether or not they're masterpieces are things like Minecraft, Return of the Obra Dinn. Actually, did we discuss Return of the Obra Dinn? I think we all just kind of assumed that it was a masterpiece.
We talked about it, how it had to be criticized. By criticized, I mean just talked about by critics for a while before we can officially call it a masterpiece.
And Obra
Even
Dinn's been
though-
out for 3 years.
And it's been out for 3 years.
And it's definitely been critiqued to death, so it's probably okay to call it a masterpiece at this point, because it still has like a 9.5 on like most review sites, so that's probably a good sign. But yeah, what else did we talk about? We discussed Minecraft, whether or not it was a
Yep, you said
masterpiece.
that.
I argued that Minecraft is more of a platform and less of an actual game. but then
I
Lawrence
argued
disagreed,
still
so
pretty
we never
game.
really came to a consensus on that one in particular.
Alrighty.
There's that.
Oh no.
What else? What else did we
Journey.
discuss? Plants vs. Zombies.
Yep.
We did talk about Journey. We agreed that Journey is a masterpiece. We agreed that Plants vs. Zombies is a masterpiece because despite having next to no narrative, it's so fucking fun. It's like, but specific examples aside, I don't know if you would agree with this, Grant, but the most important thing that I think that we agreed upon so far is the idea that specific components of a game can be done masterfully. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
the
that's
individual
made a
components can be
masterpiece.
masterfully done, but you want. I was gonna say you want whip, because once you get whip to level 8, it can upgrade into a super crazy powerful version of the whip.
That's why you keep talking about 8.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry. So specific components of a game can be done masterfully within it of themselves, but you need a certain amount of those masterful components to be considered a masterpiece.
Sure.
Which also doesn't mean that a masterpiece needs to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough.
It just needs to excel so good at like that one specific point that
What the fuck?
you actually overlook its weaker elements because like that one other element is so exceptional.
Thinking of something like for example, in Obra Dinn, a lot of people really criticize the visuals, despite the visuals being one of like the strongest parts of that game. But I've seen people with very legitimate complaints because they're like, I can't see shit. because in all honesty, the game does kind of bleed together visually at some points. Lawrence, no!
Oh, I'm stuck. No,
He got stuck on a tree. By the way, I think that these trees and stuff
high.
are new. I haven't seen those before. All right. You have enough coins, I think, for the 4th character.
Let's see the 4th character.
Yep, you do.
Gennaro.
Yeah.
Oh, that the new character was who I was playing.
Yeah, I did it while you were looking at Saba's thing.
Oh, okay. Because it had both the whip and the magic thing, so I was like, it's gotta be one of these two.
I figured you'd recognize that it was a new character because she has boobs.
To be fair, I thought this one was a woman.
Pixelated boobs.
It's literally 2 pixels each.
All right, have fun with this guy. He's good.
Geronimo.
All right. So yeah, and so we were presently at the part of the conversation where we were just going through specific examples and then just discussing whether or not we agreed that they were masterpieces. Because earlier today I went into Theta's chat and I just fielded a bunch of suggestions.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have anything that you want to recommend right off the bat, Grant.
Well, did I interrupt in the middle of one?
What were we talking about? Do you remember?
Talking about Tetris and Pong.
Tetris
We were
and Pong,
talking about
how we're,
Tetris and Pong, that's true.
Tetris is a masterpiece, but Pong is like a little bit too basic and
It's too basic, and I
it's
say it's-
unoriginal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
almost to, like, Pong is so basic that I would almost put it on the level of just rolling dice.
yeah.
Rolling dice, that requires RNG. I feel like Pong.
No, but I mean like the action of rolling a dice is so
the action of
simplistic
it.
that, like, I almost feel like Pong is just that, like you know how like in engineering or just like in math in general you have like simple machines like ramps and springs and pulleys and stuff like that.
Sure,
I almost
yeah.
feel like
There's no
Pong is a
gadgets.
simple machine but a video game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like imagine if
that's
the
exactly
first
what it
video
is.
game, instead of being Pong, imagine if the first video game was like put a ball at the top of a cliff.
You got it.
You got it. Well, yeah, Tetris is definitely, I would say, a masterpiece. Anything that survives, what, 40, 50 years of gaming?
It's made in the 60s, right?
60
It
years
is
then.
very old.
It's ancient and it's still alive. It's still
It's
healthy.
from the Mesozoic era.
It's from the Mesozoic era.
It's from the
20 million years ago.
we're playing Tetris.
Yeah.
That's how you earn your evolution.
That's how you earn your evolution.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
evolve.
correction, by the way, it came out in 1984, so it's been around.
Yeah,
so it's been
Tetris was
around
much
for
more.
about 40 years, like Lawrence
40
said.
years. Getting there to 50. Pretty good.
The original Russian child's board game that it was based on, it was like a child's toy, was
Orchestronki.
from the 1940s.
Whoa.
And then like I do feel like we were just saying like Tetris, or we were discussing whether or not you could declare the concept of a certain type of game to be a masterpiece, which I'm still not like super sure about that, but if like gun to my head I had to pick like a Tetris to represent all Tetris games, I'd probably pick Tetris Effect, which I think is pretty fair.
No, but
I don't
think
even know
it
what
was
the
bringing it up.
difference between all the Tetrises.
Yeah,
to be
like the
honest.
base of the game is still Tetris, you know. So that's why I usually say like the concepts, like what the like
Well,
at
because
the core of
Tetris
is.
has changed over the years. Because the original Tetris didn't even allow you to hold a piece, which is like a really big deal at this point. Tetris also didn't used to let you slam pieces, where you just immediately drop them.
It didn't used to have pieces, in fact. At all.
I don't know.
When it was just a concept. I'd agree though that Tetris is a masterpiece for how long it's survived and how popular it's been and continued to be.
It's definitely still popular.
Yeah.
Very much.
I think about the concept of a Hall of Fame within the context of what we're discussing, because when I think about it now, it's just like we're essentially just kind of like nominating things as masterpieces, because obviously we can always consider whatever we like to be a masterpiece, especially if we really enjoy it, like Outer Wilds. But I like the idea of a Hall of Fame because it requires a certain number of people to all come to a consensus on whether or not something is good enough to be in the Hall of Fame, or money, but that's beyond the scope of this discussion. So it's just like I'm thinking about it where it's just like I know that they already have like video game Hall of Fames and stuff like that, but I like the idea of like a group of people, which I guess we're kind of doing now, but like a group of people coming together and just being like, I think that Tetris is a masterpiece, and a guy slams his hand on the table being like, no, garbage.
Fuck Tetris.
Fuck Tetris.
Tetris killed my family.
Tetris killed my family.
I'll never forgive.
Wow.
Ooh, more Fire Wand or new stuff?
Like,
If you want to upgrade your Fire Wand, you want more Fire Wand.
Well, that does tend to happen.
This time we're just gonna upgrade a single item as many times as I possibly can.
That is what you're supposed to do in this game, actually. Because
you need all the items.
there are passives, and then there are weapons, and each weapon has a passive that it well, not every weapon, but most weapons have a passive that at level 8 they'll combine with, and they'll just turn into a crazy powerful version of that weapon. So that's all I've been trying to encourage you to do. Are we ready to move on to the next one? Once again, I'll ask Grant if he has any suggestions for something that he wants to nominate as a masterpiece.
Right now, no. I want to see what else is in store.
So another one that was brought up in Theta's chat as something that's people considered to be a masterpiece in that chat was Ori and the Blind Forest or Ori 2.
Oh, the original Ori is
I have not played it.
really good.
I got angry playing the first Ori, so I don't know if I have good words about that.
It's funny that you mention it, because it's like, while I can appreciate Ori, I know that the game is beautiful, and I know that it did a lot of stuff for indie gaming as like a franchise at the time, or not even as a franchise, as like a place to exist. But I didn't really enjoy my time playing Ori and the Blind Forest.
I
may have had to maybe I think the issue, so it's like this is one of those things where the art is really masterful and the storytelling is really masterful, but there may have been just enough issues with like gameplay.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with the gameplay. It's just my attitude towards that specific gameplay is usually a little more on the hot water side.
Also, I think Zach was telling me that they made some improvements in like Ori 2.
So
right?
The way that I would describe it, because I played both, haven't finished both, but I finished the first one. And the way that I would describe it was that I think that Ori and the Blind Forest, the first one, came out during a time where Metroidvania-style indie games were just starting to hit their stride. And so the thing that Ori and the Blind Forest had was an extremely floaty and momentum-based movement system, where when you jump, he just kind of like fucking floats in the air like a dandelion for a bit, and you have full air control while doing so. But when I say full air control, I also mean that you have to like wait for the momentum to shift and turn around. So everything's really fluid, and when you know what you're doing, you can do these really cool like jumping maneuvers in the first game. But more often than not, I found myself like slipping into spike pits or like missing a jump because, you know, it was a little bit not as responsive as I would have hoped.
More fire. Yes.
Fire.
Now that being said, I do almost feel like that. I do almost feel like the game should have been completely built around the bash mechanic. The thing where when you get close to something that you can bash, you like pause time for a split second and you get and you get to like shoot yourself in a direction.
That was my favorite mechanic in that game.
It was really good, and it was to the point where it's just weird that like the entire game wasn't built around that. Like, sure, they used it for like a lot of set pieces, and like it was a factor in the platforming. But like, dude, I would have much rather had an entire game that was just like different variations on that bash mechanic because it was so good. And so, talking upon what Saba mentioned a little slightly earlier, are you okay? What just happened?
What did you do?
Did you do the thing that I do
Has Brett been
sometimes
knocked
and
out?
punch the mic? Oh.
Oh, I punch the mic all the time.
All right, I'm back.
What happened?
You okay?
Our like driveway alarm went off, so I turned to look, and I brought my hand up and slapped the underside of my fucking mic, and it just felt like my hand.
Lawrence called it immediately.
Because I heard a thought and then a mute, so I'm like, he did the thing that I do a lot, which is punch the mic.
Punch the mic.
Punch the mic.
But yeah, so in Ori and the Will of the Wisps, a lot of the changes that they made were pure. Like, a lot of the changes that they made seemed to be just in response to how like games of that genre have shifted in focus over time, where like it just felt a lot better to move around in general, which I really enjoyed. Like, it was a lot snappier. And I don't know. There was just a lot of stuff that they did in Will of the Wisps that were just really satisfying. Still didn't really have an excellent time with it though, and I can't really explain why because I don't understand it myself.
Overall, though, it seems like we're leaning towards not a masterpiece.
Yeah, I think like
I would say it definitely
elements.
could be a masterpiece. Has masterful elements, but
Definitely has
like the
masterful
narrative
elements.
and like the art, like it really they are like beyond exceptional. I think the art and like the narrative and even the music.
I don't know why you think that the narrative is masterful. I thought it was
very impactful.
I mean, sure,
More
but
like Dory, am I right? Anyways.
more like
Yeah,
Dory. Well, I mean, he kind of taps into my opinion, which is just like, yeah, the emotional moments that do exist in Ori and the Blind Forest were impactful, but they were so few and far between. I'm surprised that you, because like we talked about stuff similar before, where you would divine, I don't know. I guess it's a narrative. It's just, I'm thinking about it because it's just like, it's so infrequent. I'm surprised that you would define it as a narrative and not just like window dressing.
There's an overall like plot going.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Ooh, Lawrence, don't get backed into a corner, Lawrence.
Lawrence, don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Lawrence, don't freak out.
Ori and the audacity of these forests.
And the audacity of
Ori
this
and the
book.
audacity of this bitch. It would be an excellent sequel. Holy crap. Oh, by the way,
Anyway, I
Grant,
think I
at the very
like the
beginning
game.
of stream
Yeah.
today, I got called back from that weird guy from Texas.
Oh, congrats. Does he know you?
Is he a fan? Is he a fan?
Just slip through the plants. Oh my god, this guy's gonna die.
Circle all the way around.
Oh, okay. There you go. But yeah. Barack Obama and the audacity of this bitch.
You need some turkey.
I would personally pick spinach so that way you can clear through these guys faster.
Yeah. Because I don't.
The game
I
is
don't
weird,
like
as
this.
you can obviously tell.
No,
but like they
no,
just
it's already done.
no, it's fine. Just go up. Yeah, just go up.
Freak out.
Run away.
My first opening, it's so long.
Lawrence, you're freaking out.
Oh, no, just so much.
Spinach is
That
worded very
exact
weirdly.
time, 11 minutes, 14 seconds. That's when the skeletal fucking army comes in.
Away.
Holy damn.
New achievement.
Oh, you got
Arca.
a
You've unlocked
a new
Arca.
character.
Oh shit.
Oh, sweet.
They start
you have to
with
pay
they
for
start
them?
with the fire wand.
650.
Oh yeah, we don't have enough for that.
Dang. Well, I like Pascalina. So
Sure.
I'll just keep
About to
going
say
with
we
that.
have 2 hours left, so have fun.
Is this the game we're doing for the rest of the stream?
Well, apparently
I
nothing
mean,
else
we're
works.
mostly
So yeah,
talking, you know. So
That's true.
like
Is that the- is
we're
this
not
the game
even
that
in
Lawrence
we're
is
not even
playing
in
for
the
the rest of
Vampire
stream?
Survivor
Yes.
category right now. We're in just chatting.
Dude,
okay.
I feel like you should add. Can't you do multiple?
No, you cannot. Or sorry,
Oh,
you
man.
can if you're a partner.
Ah, okay, we're not good enough for that.
Let's just be a partner, Forehead.
Yeah, just do it.
Who are you, my mom?
Zach,
I did
just
say-
be more
Ooh, the
popular.
cross seemed nice.
Just start
Yeah.
playing Fortnite. Fortnite's not that popular anymore, mom. Whatever.
Whatever, do it.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. I don't know. Like, obviously, I feel like we came to the consensus-ish. Not really consensus. That's not very fair to Saba, but like we seem to have leaned very hard into the idea of Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori 2 not being masters or not being masterpieces, but they definitely have masterful elements. I think we can all agree to that.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, Clock Lance is fucked up. So look at that projectile.
Oh boy.
It's like the hand of a clock.
Oh, that's
Oh, it
cool.
mo-
Oh,
oh,
and it
that's
goes down
sick.
the hours. Okay.
It's really cool. It's really hard to use properly.
I bet if you're not circling correctly, then it's gonna be useless.
Look at that, you're doing great.
He's doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing
He's
it.
believing.
It's one of the
beginning to
cool
believe.
it's one of the coolest
beginning to
weapons that
believe.
is like by far the hardest to use, I think, in the game. Although later on when you get stuff that like reduces your weapon cast time to like ridiculously small, this thing is just just in a circle around you, and it's awesome.
Double time speed, you son of a bitch.
Anyway, are we ready to move on to the next one?
Good.
Sure.
The next suggestion, this one was started by me, but then a bunch of people in the chat agreed. Slay the Spire.
I don't know anything about Slay the Spire,
Me-
so I'm
me
not
neither.
gonna.
Slay the Spire, I would describe as being the best
Oh
digital.
my god.
Oh, get Red Heart.
Heal.
It's very
Heal.
slow, but at
Worth
least it's
it.
something. So if you're
It's
not
something.
if you're not finding floor chicken, because it's 1 health for every 10 seconds. Keep that in mind.
That's all I need. That's all I need, brother.
Literally, if you get a second one of those, it's 1 health per 5 seconds. Like that's how crazy
That's pretty good.
the weapon gets, or
gotta
the
get it.
passive gets. But yeah, Slay the I personally would personally put Slay the Spire in the masterful category because it does the roguelike card-based deck building video game way better than anything else has ever done. I know I talked previously when I got Monster Train like a couple months ago or whatever. I talked about it a lot because Monster Train is really fun. It's a really good card-based roguelike. But it still pales in comparison to Slay the Spire. Like I still find myself going back to Slay the Spire, but I have no interest to play Monster Train. So
Oof.
it's just really
Longevity.
good. And I think it might actually be one of the best examples. Once again, obviously we're not actually going to declare it a masterpiece or anything like that.
Oh, hey, what do you know? You called it.
You definitely need more weapons though. Keep in mind the weapons are all
Oh,
independent
certainly.
from each other, so every new weapon you get is more damage.
Hurt you if you out heal them.
Yeah.
They definitely
True.
can.
A skeletal army in 8 minutes? Not a problem if I can out
Just
heal
keep
them.
healing.
I'm gonna die.
No, impossible. Lawrence, I believe in you.
Now I won't die.
Yes.
But yeah, I can't really say much on Slay the Spire. It's definitely just your opinion, I think, Zach.
Well, of course. But what I was going to say was that I think it would actually be a really good example of something, of a game that might be a masterpiece, but definitely has its flaws. because the card art in that game, very good. The gameplay, very good. The music is pretty good as well. Some people don't like it, but I think it's pretty okay. But holy shit, just the regular art of like enemies and stuff like that, like the bosses and the characters, is definitely lacking. It looks very bad as soon as you look away from the cards, which I think is very funny in context. But yeah, so that's that. Once again, we don't really need to fully discuss this one because obviously I'm the only one that's familiar with it, but it's a good game.
Cool.
So much so that it would definitely be my nomination if I could. Up next. Oh, I guess it's good that Grant's here because this was a recommendation that I have no particular interest in, but Ocarina of Time.
Oh. So, how many of you have played Ocarina?
Nope.
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 Okay. Oh shit. Uh-oh.
Okay, present your case.
Zach, I'm gonna get canceled because I will say Ocarina is a very, very good game. It is very fantastic.
Wait,
it's better on the 3DS.
Is it not agreed upon that it's a good game?
You don't think it's?
I don't think it's.
Oh.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I much prefer other Zelda games.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
And
Can you speak about why?
Well, I think I'm gonna get canceled. I think a lot of the reason is A, because of nostalgia goggles for a lot of people. Which
Luck.
Luck literally just determines whether or not you get the triples or the fives in chests. Whereas the fire, you only have 3 weapons. Take the fire wand.
get the health.
No, get the fire wand.
I want
the
the
health,
luck.
coward.
Let's see who
You're gonna
Lawrence cares
fucking
about
die,
the most.
and we're not gonna get any. The game's 30 minutes long, but yet you're not
do you care
getting even
about,
the third of the way there.
What do you want, Lawrence?
I
Luck?
care.
We're gonna get 3 weapons out of that clover, Lawrence.
You could
Think about
get.
it.
You
even more
can't. You
health.
can't get new items out of a chest. It can only give you what you already have.
I
Alright.
think Zach's lying to us.
I
think
hate
he-
you so much. This is fucking-
Listen, we go meta here, okay? We will go for the highest time. That's it. Sorry about that.
Funny. Actually, it's funny. It's funny that you did that because your cross does upgrade with the clover.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See, look at that.
You could have more health.
So now I guess you're looking for level 8 cross. Whatever. But yeah. So you were
anyways.
saying about how you hate Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I despise it.
There's only
It's my
love
least
and
favorite
hate,
game.
no in between.
I just don't think a lot of the designs of the dungeons, it's not that they're not good, I just don't think they're very fun. Most notoriously, obviously, the water temple. I don't think the forest temple is very good either. And I don't know, the time traveling mechanic is okay about being able to go into past and forward, but like I said, it does a lot of things well, but I don't think it's deserving of the masterpiece title.
I think,
Masterful, but not masterpiece.
Masterful, not masterpiece.
I think Legend of Zelda, in of itself, the game can be overall the game can be considered maybe a masterpiece, but like I think if you were to, you would have to like pinpoint. There's like certain games that are clearly better than others.
Yes.
Like if you had
100%.
like I have a gun to your head. Hello, I made it into your room.
Oh no, not again.
Which are there any Zelda games that you would classify as masterpieces?
Wind Waker. I think
Really?
so.
Even with its original what do you calls it? Because wasn't there a
Wind
thing
Waker.
where like in the original version what the fuck is that item?
Lord.
I don't know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, I guess.
I
But-
should say Wind Waker HD remake for the Wii U.
Okay, sure. Because like my understanding was that the original one on the GameCube had like a problem with like sailing at some point. Like there was a point where it just sends you on this like really fucking long fetch quest for some reason.
Yeah, so there near the end of the game, it's like, yeah, gather all the Triforce pieces, and there's 9 of them. It is a lot more bullshit in the GameCube one. And it's made, I don't know.
It's made enemies.
Nice.
I mean,
It's made enemies, yeah. It's made nicer in the Wii U remake, and it also looks prettier.
I could only put forward the 2 I've played, which I've also liked, being
let's go
Skyward
again.
Sword and Twilight Princess, I believe. Those 2 were nice.
Twilight Princess
Zelda.
is good. And I know Zach's gonna disagree, but I would also say Breath of the Wild.
Well, I mean, like that's the thing, is that like just because I don't like Breath of the Wild does not mean I don't recognize that it's a very good game. It just so happens to be the perfect storm of stuff that I don't want. I hate physics puzzles, which is like a very big core of that game's design. And then also it was supposed to be like my first like Zelda experience, and it turns out that it was like a revolutionary Zelda game that like didn't have any dungeons or anything like that. Like sure, it had the divine beasts, but like that doesn't really count. So it was just unfortunate in I
Can't believe you hate Breath of the Wild.
I don't like it.
And I don't like living. But we both
You
gotta
and me
do
both,
it sometimes, Zach.
Okay, well that's interesting. I don't know if it'll ever even be relevant again in chat, but or in Theta's chat, I guess, since no one's here. But I don't know. I guess it would be because I don't have any attachment to Ocarina of Time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be interesting to see what somebody who did say that Ocarina of Time was a masterpiece. It'd be fun to see what they would have to say in response to you saying that it has nostalgia, like most of that comes from nostalgia glasses, rose tinted glasses.
Most of it, but I'd say a good portion.
Like I don't know, it does some cool stuff. Like I like the stuff with Sheik.
Yeah, that's
I think that's cool. I think that's cool shit, dude. And obviously a lot of people agree.
Get the gems, Lawrence.
Moment.
Oh, it's can't cross that.
A lot of unnecessary moments. Sure, I can understand that. Okay. What next? That was that. I guess we can flip-flop directly into the other mainline Nintendo titles, but I brought up Mario Galaxy in chat, and I still think that we should discuss Mario Galaxy 1, not 2.
I love Mario Galaxy.
And then someone in chat was like, well, what about Mario 3? So I think that both of these are pretty interesting to discuss.
I'm losing track of Mario games, so I need to
Mario 3.
Mario 3 is the third Mario game.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tanuki Suit Mario, where everything's a stage play.
Yeah, everything looks like a stage play.
I prefer Mario World, to be honest.
And now I'm lost again. Anywho, I think Mario Galaxy is pretty good.
I could understand if someone doesn't think that Mario Galaxy is a masterpiece. I obviously think that it is, because I think that game is incredible in style and theme. Thank you very much, Grant. I appreciate that. But I would fight anyone to death who says that Galaxy 2 is better than 1.
Lawrence, what were you gonna say?
Wasn't Galaxy 1 also the game where it showed off a lot of the Wii controls because the Wii was like relatively new?
It was very strange because a lot of the most popular, like quote unquote motion controlled games on the Wii rarely even use the motion controls at all.
True.
Because like all that Galaxy really used the motion controls for was pointing at the screen, which is obviously a big deal, and then just whether or not you're shaking. Period.
Yeah.
Which like I think of like Wario Land Shake It as well. Like Wario Land Shake It had are you shaking the controller? Yes, no, and then tilt. and that was like it.
Well,
So
Mario Galaxy had the rolling ball things, and the mantis, which utilized the tilt controls and stuff.
was that in 1 or was that in 2?
That was in
You're
one.
talking about the big rock bowl, where you do like bowling, right?
No, I'm talking about
you're
the
on
one
top
where you're on
of
the
the-
ball.
That comes.
Oh, it's like the golden ball, and you have to
goes
operate it like a
faster.
joystick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those
Oh,
levels.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I can
The
see why
music
they
gets
only did
faster
it a
and
couple
faster.
times, though.
Yeah,
Oh, it
Yeah,
gets
it was
people
only in,
real
like-
mad.
I love those levels. I don't know why.
We've already established that Grant is crazy, but
Yes.
No, I will say I want to mention because I still have my Wii and I do enjoy going and playing some of the classic games. Getting back into Mario Galaxy, it's always hard because it always feels like you have to go over the hurdle, which is like the first like observatory, before getting to like the latter
stuff.
levels. Yeah, like I really like the kitchen, but it's like you have to go through like the fountain and the first garden place before you can even get to that place, and it takes it feels like it takes
I
forever
mean, you could
to
just
do that.
I mean, you can just jump up to the kitchen.
No, you can't go.
No. You can't get into it till you beat the fountain. You know.
Oh, you're saying like because you have to do one and then the other, then the other. Okay.
Yeah, so it feels like it takes forever to get back into it because I'm always stuck doing that same stuff at the beginning. But like when you get like over kind of
Well,
over
because
that hurdle,
the thing is
yeah.
that, and I remember that this was like Barry Kramer's criticism of the game, was that it didn't feel like a level clear game, and I mean it's not, but it's almost
God.
like there's floor turkey above you, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I've been keeping them in track.
But
Cool. That's an
but
amulet,
it's kind of
Lawrence.
interesting because like the fountain and the other thing or whatever, they basically just act like worlds from a normal Mario map, which I know we all acknowledge or whatever, but the difference is that you get to see the world ahead of time, which makes it a little bit anticipatory, where it's like, man, I really want to get this ball rolling. Although it is really cool to like bring different parts of the observatory back online. I think that's really cool.
And the
Lightning.
sure.
Oh wait,
And
what do you have?
My favorite
So,
thing ever,
Lawrence,
Grant. Once you get the flying power.
If you
like,
care about
the
upgrading your
minister.
stuff
you
at
could
all,
use it more.
you
and
still
I
have
wish
the
you got it
chance of upgrading
earlier.
your whip if you get a hollow
I will
heart
be
later.
honest,
The
I
lightning ring does not
vaguely
upgrade at all,
remember,
and
like,
your
the
spinach
bedroom
upgrades a
level,
fire
just because I
wand.
never ever
So
get to it.
in theory,
Whenever I
you can
try
pick any of
replaying
these,
it.
obviously, that you want.
So I do
but if you wanted
remember
to get the
I always
upgraded
hated
fire
this, like,
wand
sand
later,
level.
you want to get Rune Tracer now.
That I have like
Oh.
PTSD about. I don't know
I
why.
do
Just
not
keep
have the
doing?
fire wand
I
at the
think
moment,
so.
therefore, and I don't know
I don't
what
know what
lightning
it was
ring
about
is, so
that,
I'm
but I
gonna-
didn't like
Sure,
it.
I'm gonna do
lightning
that.
ring is cool. You'll like it.
What's your favorite Galaxy, Saba?
Dude, I love the Beach Bowl Galaxy.
Beach Ball's sick.
Beach Bowl
The
is
music
cool.
is great.
I wish it wasn't
just
a
felt
toilet.
like I was having a vacation. It was
Like
fast.
Super Mario Sunshine type stuff.
I still get this.
I never played actually Mario Sunshine, but I would say probably close.
Nice. What
though
about you, Zach?
What favorite Galaxy from Galaxy?
Yeah.
I really like the B one. I don't remember what the actual name is, but
Honey
I really like.
Hive.
Sorry.
Honey Hive, I think.
Sure. That sounds about right. But yeah, I really like that one. Just because I know the B power up has like some issues with it or
Ooh.
whatever, but just like
Goodbye,
I really
Samba.
like the aesthetic of that one. And then later on, like because you know how like the levels will like slightly change like one after another. I really like how the Beatles kind of move in and suddenly you see just carpentry everywhere. Because I guess
Yeah.
the Beatles can just do that. and I always thought that was cool. I liked it.
Uh-oh. Saba's having problems.
Discord problems. There's Discord and Discord.
No.
Yeah.
Did you play Galaxy, Lawrence?
I have not.
You
It's weird
heathen.
because a lot of the Mario games I only experience secondhand, and that's when a friend brings a Mario game.
Did you
to
not
my
have
house.
like Nintendo system?
I never owned a Mario game. Never owned a
Really?
Nintendo system. I don't know. That's like it's really weird. My experience
You
with
should.
Mario. It's just, oh yeah, a friend brought a game over, and that's my experience.
Secondhand.
Secondhand.
You should get a Switch.
I would like to Switch.
Well, Lawrence
One
and I
of the
were
days I
Lawrence and
will.
I were going to be doing the exchange for a minute there when we thought that there was going to be a Switch Pro, because I was going to sell my Switch to Lawrence
I
for like
forgot.
150,
Yeah.
and then I would put that 150 towards the Switch Pro. But then it turned out that it was just the Nintendo Switch OLED, which is not even remotely worth it.
Yeah.
Fortunate.
Sob, are you back? I'm going to
She
say
is
no.
not.
Jeez.
Lawrence, floor chicken.
Delicious.
Hold on,
Lawrence,
I'm
I want you to
trying.
live. Please, you didn't even make it to 10 minutes. I want you to
Go
live.
back. We all know I'm gonna die in minute 10.
Live your
Actually, I'm not
I mean,
going
if you,
left.
I
Fuck
mean,
that.
I mean, this time you actually have weapons, whereas the previous times you got to minute 10 and the giant wave of skeletons came, you decided to get a bunch of joke upgrades instead. So
And
become the joke.
I do not regret that one bit.
you should. you're losing. Anyway. Ta-da! So you didn't get the whip.
Ooh.
So Clover will upgrade your cross.
You didn't get a new car. You didn't get the whip.
I can't. What do I want? Do I want bird artillery? Or do I just want luck? Let's get lucky.
You feeling lucky?
He skipped the
feeling
floor
lucky.
chicken.
Lucky
again.
smiling.
He went back for the floor chicken and then skipped it. He like looked at
Well,
it, waved hello.
I'm healing. I'm healing.
I'll be
good.
back.
I got
Oh,
regen.
there's floor chicken.
Bam.
Delicious.
But yeah, I don't know, because it was just one of those things where it's just like I've had very brief discussions with the maniacs who say that Galaxy 2 is better than Galaxy 1, and like when it comes to like their reasoning, like how could you possibly have such a wrong opinion? It comes down to inane stuff.
Wow.
It comes down to inane stuff like, oh, I like how it has like an actual level map this time, and I'm like, yeah, and you traded it. Yeah, and it's like, sure, I can appreciate how it has like an actual level map, and that's like, you know, comfortable to some people, but it loses so much like vibe and aesthetic when you
observatory.
yeah, because well, not even talking about the combat observatory specifically at the moment, but just like when you went into the fountain and you got to see that it was a solar system, despite the fact that they call it a galaxy. When you look at the solar system and like the levels are there, that was immediately unique. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, that's fucking Mario Galaxy. That's awesome. Like, it feels like space. And then in Mario Galaxy 2, it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a generic Mario game again. but this time it has
Here
like the
we
3D
go.
stuff.
Mario.
Here we go, boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, get them. Yeah, Jesus, get booed.
Squeeze right in through. Oh,
That's-
bad
Oh, there's a
squeeze.
well. Let's see if you die.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Oh, this is it.
Rest
This
in
is it.
peace.
Damn.
How do you survive that? You lasted 5 seconds longer.
I can't. I can't even begin to be upset by this. All right. You needed 650 for the new character, so you gotta
Alright,
keep going.
Imelda. You go,
Gains
Imelda.
10% more experience every 10 levels, so she levels up quickly, I guess.
Gains.
Perhaps that's what I need. Gains.
Gets gains.
But yeah, and then speaking on the combat observatory on its own, like
Combat
that was
observatory?
the
That
combat
sounds
observatory.
so-
Holy shit!
Shit.
The comet observatory. Man, stop getting Santa water. It's so bad. It's just,
How you gonna hate on Santa?
because it's
How dare
bad.
you.
It's a bad item.
Fuck you. Santa's so good.
It doesn't even target anything specifically. It just like goes in an area and it's like, oh great.
Santa's so good.
Man, this floor, I just realized that this floor tiles almost as much as Legends Arceus.
Just as detailed.
It's just as detailed. I would personally get the knife. Just saying, because like the knife,
Get
that
Santa
thing,
water.
I don't like aiming.
Yeah, but Lawrence, that thing that you just did where you were trying to make your way out of like the wave of skeletons, but then you like died because they were in front of you with no way of like you hurting them. That's what the knife is for.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
Knife is for making
Okay,
friends.
then
Knife is
die,
for making friends.
then perish.
And perish.
Perish.
But yeah, like that was another thing that like some people complain about having to actually navigate the Comet Observatory, because like they just wanted to like immediately get to a level and then call it a day, which you can do on the face ship in Galaxy 2 because you start right in front of the button that you need to press in order to get to the next level. And I can understand why people would be, why people might prefer that, I guess. But you're also wrong because holy shit, the Comet Observatory is beautiful.
Yes.
It's so good and it shows your progress through the game. It acts as its own progress bar just in and of itself. It's just so good. And the fact that some people can look at that as a negative is nuts to me.
I'll give that Mario Galaxy 2 is still a great game.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of the galaxies are fucking great. You got Yoshi, you got a bunch of new power-ups. Cloud Mario is pretty sick. But there's no fucking way Starship Mario is better than the Comet Observatory.
Like at all. I understand that for technically canon reasons, but Rosalina's not in the game.
Yeah, she appears in the end.
Yeah, guess what? In Galaxy 1, she's right there every time you go to the Comet Observatory. It's obviously better. It's just one of those things that like drives me insane where it's like, are you shitting me? How dare you betray your queen?
Simping for Rosalina.
Simping for Rosalina.
Are you kidding? Who would?
Because she's like 8 feet tall.
Duh. Also, she's the queen of the solar system or whatever. It's like,
and also 8 feet tall.
Yeah, and also 8 feet. That's the main thing, though.
You can try to push it off on me all you want, Grant, but I know you're into that too. You fuck.
But it's so much funnier to laugh at someone else.
Get the whip!
No.
I'm going to explode. He's like, I'm gonna do literally the worst thing every time. And I'm like,
I believe in you, Lawrence.
If the game has a specific path for victory, why the fuck?
Because the game's $3 and it was made in a
options?
weekend. This is a Game Chan game from like Argentina or whatever. And it doesn't have one
Magic
specific path
wand.
to victory. It just has many paths to losing, which you're walking down every one of them.
This game's great.
It's just fun. It's just fun to watch.
We have
Saba's
fun
still
here.
muted, but I'm assuming that she's. What is this? Oh, it's curry. It's
Super spicy
curry
curry.
from Smash Brothers.
I have finally returned.
Oh, hello.
Hello, what happened?
I don't know. I think maybe because I plugged in my computer, sometimes that causes it to really heat up, and it may have overheated or something to the point that it was not like Discord was just on like RTC, like it was trying to connect, but it could never go past.
So
What it
your
needed.
computer just
That
heated up
happens.
so much that it like was just like, I'm done.
I
I'm
think
out.
so.
This is
I'm not an expert.
You decided to take the knife, Lawrence. All right.
I didn't like the cross.
Okay.
Let me see if I can join back up. I may have
Not a
to ask.
religious boy.
Oh, no,
I don't like the cross.
What do you have right now? You have the Empty Tome. Oh shit! Empty Tome synergizes with Magic Wand, which is your first item. You're starting.
Well.
So there you go. That's gonna be great for you.
Time to avoid the magic tomes then.
Do you have?
Who needs them?
Who needs them? Mage? I could cast spells.
No
with all
wonder.
magic
No
tomes.
wonder
I'm
why
cool
people
with
hate
shit.
Santa water so much. It doesn't upgrade with anything.
Well, that's just makes
Your
it
fire
unique,
wand
just like
does,
us.
your knife does, your axe does, your magic wand does.
Yo, you wanna pause for a second? Let me back in.
Oh
I
yeah.
wanna see this riveting gameplay.
It sounded like you were a drug addict. Yo, man, you wanna pause for a second? Like scratching at your neck.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, we're
Got a
back.
little bit of powder on your nose.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
All right,
Anywho, I heard
I would.
a lot of the
I don't know.
questions,
I don't know
so-
if Mario 3 is a masterpiece. Once again, that might just be a circumstance in which individuals in
circumstance.
Theta's chat just really like the game, which I don't know. Maybe it is that good, but
I mean, I know a lot of people love Mario 3, but
yeah, I can't really
I think
say
I mean, it's all right.
personally.
Yeah.
So, but I will definitely say that Mario Galaxy is a masterpiece. And although Grant might assume, I also don't think that Mario Odyssey is a masterpiece. I definitely
How do
think
you
it
love
has.
that
I
game?
definitely think it has
Shock
some
juice.
issues, or
Like not being
not being
long
what?
enough. Like not being long enough.
I'm not gonna talk.
Like not being like getting you sick on the plane.
That was different. All right, I was already sick, and in fact, it was like
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing that put me to sleep. I
Like,
just loaded up the soundtrack and I just listened to the fucking Shiverton theme or whatever it was called.
Like not having a durability system. It should have it, you know, like when you capture stuff and you can only use it for so long.
You can only use it for so much. Listen, we're not talking about that today. We're talking about masterpieces today.
We're
all right.
never gonna have that topic.
I know how much you like durability systems, so I just want to stick that in there.
I'm trying to think if there's literally any durability system that's ever improved the game that it's in, and I can't think of any.
Fallout.
Minecraft.
No, Minecraft kinda, because if you didn't have a durability system in Minecraft, you would stop spending resources. I guess you would just spend the resources on building, but I don't know.
Anyways, masterpieces.
Yeah. Durability system is a masterful
Masterpiece.
Did I ever tell you about the horror game that the Super Best Friends were like on the verge of funding, and then it like the whole project kind of fell through? The Super Best Friends, they had this reoccurring thing that they would do every Halloween called the Shitstorm of Scariness, where for 30 days. Why would you do that?
What the fuck?
You just walked directly into a zombie and then just kept like giving him a hug.
Witness me.
I was dead. Guess not.
Zach, I would have a question. I don't know. You can finish your thing first, but I would have a question.
I would like to finish my
Thought
thing
of something.
first before I forget about it. Long
New
story
character,
short,
though.
they played so many like shitty indie horror games where by the way, it's Alucard.
Oh. No, it's Arcaladonna.
Exactly. They played so many shitty indie horror games where because like in a lot of like
What the fuck?
defaults in a lot of like default templates for horror games, the default text for when you try to open a locked door is just that it simply says it's locked, right? And so
Right.
Matt started going nuts, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna one day we're just gonna make a horror game, and it's just gonna be called Shit's Locked. And the whole
Shit's
point,
Locked.
and the whole point of the game is that every fucking door is locked, and you have to get all the keys. But then there's a guy trying to kill you, so shit's locked. And they were apparently like 80% of the way through like the initial ideation phase, and then that's when the Super Best Friends broke up, and they never ended up
Damn.
actually making the game. And I was like, no,
Sad.
I would have loved to have played Shit's Locked.
No, you can't. You can't develop that game. You're gonna lose your friends.
Yeah, it's cursed.
I think that's one of my favorite parts because there's a guy named Taco Funbox who does like really well done compilation videos. They're usually like 4 to 5 hours long. He does really never mind. You're fine. You'll just do whatever anyway. And one of the things that I really like him doing in the compilation videos is that there were a lot of times where they would make reference to I guess like the most poignant one that I can think of was Pat and Liam were playing like some game or whatever, and Liam very pointedly said, "Yeah, forced friendships are awful. I hate them so much." And at the time that didn't mean anything, but then the guy Taco Funbox, he just puts oof like with every single word, and it just made me cry. But anyway, yes, Sabi, you had a question.
Do you think that because I only have within my limited scope of game knowledge, but do you think that World of Horror could be a masterpiece if it was finished?
Is it not finished?
No. Not
Maybe
entirely?
it has some things that I think it would need to iron out a little bit first. Like, is World of Horror great? Yes, I would definitely put World of Horror as like a 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? But it definitely has some issues where its design just feels a little bit too clunky for the sake of being clunky.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, are those things that like once the creators like wrapped up his like stuff, because he's still working on it,
He is. That is true. He is still working on it. Because I'm thinking about like the stuff that I'm thinking about is I really like the random events that can occur. You know what I mean? Like, I really like when you're just trying to explore the environment, or like when you're just trying to like solve one of the mysteries and random shit just happens and it's like, oh shit, now I gotta react to this. I like that. And maybe it's just personal preference, but I really dislike almost all of the other randomness that exists in the game. Like the idea of like when you try to hit an opponent, your percent chance to hit them is random-ish. Like it depends on your speed versus their speed on how likely you're actually to hit them. I would much rather it just be like damage numbers instead, like guaranteed damage, but maybe the damage numbers fluctuate up or down.
Yeah.
Just because like they're like I can only think of a very seldom few things that are more frustrating than losing a really well done and well executed run of World of Horror because you lost like 3 random chances in a row. You know what I mean?
RNG, let's go.
And that's it. And I don't know. Once again, like I said, maybe it's just personal preference, but I fucking hate that kind of stuff. So,
okay.
Is it a masterpiece? No. Could I see it being a masterpiece one day? Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think looking at it, because I was in more or less like, he's not done, right? So I can't claim whether or not it's a masterpiece now because there's stuff that still needs to be added, I think. But I feel like when he gets there, I feel like I see the strong potential for it to be, I think, a really, really, really good game, maybe even a masterpiece.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good suggestion. I didn't even think about suggesting, despite the fact that it's literally on my favorites list on Steam, I didn't even think about recommending it.
Who would have thunk?
Who'd have thunk it?
All right, cool. Are we ready for the next one?
Sure.
Yay. With an hour and 10 minutes left in stream, our next one is... this is another one that I don't expect a lot of you guys to have played, but Crypt of the Necrodancer was suggested.
Oh.
Dancing Dungeon.
Crypt of the Necrodancer is a really interesting roguelike dungeon crawler where if you do your movements and attacks to the beat of the music on the room that you're in, you get like bonuses and stuff. So the game very heavily incentivizes you having rhythm and being able to execute ideas. Like you have to, like, the game's hard. It's fucking difficult because you have to be able to analyze what's happening in the current situation, how to respond to it, and then execute that response properly, all within the next beat of the song, which is very hard to do. I don't know.
Just like real music.
Just like real music. But with that being said, it's good. I think it's very fun. I'm not very good at it because I don't have the ability to, like, I might have pretty okay like just rhythm in general, but as soon as I get frazzled, the whole thing just collapses and I die, and I'm like, all right, well, that's it. There's no
I just
recovery.
realized it's a game that I could pitch forward. I think is a masterpiece. Is Hades.
That was on the list. We were actually I was actually gonna bring up all of the Supergiant games one after another. So we can do that now, I guess, since no one wants to talk about Great to that Great Answer. It's just fair. So yeah, let's bring up the Supergiant ones. I say we do it in order. I think we should talk about Bastion first.
Bastion's really good.
Is it a masterpiece?
I think the memory in my mind is too faint to know whether or not I can solidly say if it's a masterpiece or not. I think it's really, really good, though.
I feel like in a very ephemeral sort of way, I feel like I have the memory of Bastion being a masterpiece. Like if somebody walked up to me and like put their hand on my shoulder and they were like, Zach, Bastion's a masterpiece, I'd be like, whoa, I remember now. You know what I mean?
I'd be like, yeah, sure. Right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, like, because it's like the game might have some gameplay issues, like it doesn't actually have that much of an in-depth combat system, and some of the art is a little rough around the edges, but man, the music's great. The overall direction of the game is absolutely stellar. The narrative's pretty compelling as well. So it's just like it has all of the masterful elements that I would be looking for in a masterpiece. I just have no earthly idea whether or not it actually executes on them properly. I would have to go back and play it, which I guess is something that we're going to do with Lawrence eventually, but that's that. Now, with that being said, I guess we're playing that. With that being said, we are I am definitely confident in saying that Transistor is a masterpiece. Hades is definitely a masterpiece, but we'll get there in a moment. If Bastion is like almost a masterpiece, Transistor has to be a masterpiece, because it's literally just what if we did Bastion but like flawlessly this time.
Transistor is super good.
Transistor is super good. The only part that I'm a little iffy on is the ending, and that's like it.
Okay. I would agree. I have nothing really.
Okay.
I have nothing to.
Either.
Yeah. Yeah. Supergiant games are just good.
Yeah, like straight up.
Well, there is one more Supergiant game that we still haven't talked about. Pyre.
That I haven't played. I know we talked about them being good. I just haven't played this one.
I would very heavily suggest that Pyre. I almost feel like, how do I describe it? I almost feel like they wanted to have more practice doing character portraiture, like just like character art and character design. But then they realized, like, oh shit, we actually have to put a game in this. We can't just have it be a visual novel. What if we made like weird basketball?
Yeah.
Because like the actual sports ball element of Pyre that you end up doing multiple times throughout the game is not very good at all. They have this thing where there's all these different characters that are like different species, and the idea is that each species has their own special way of like moving around the field and interacting with one another. Like, for example, there's like a witchy druid species that you can get like towards the end of the game, where when the witch passes the ball to another like player, like another ally, it creates a line of shadow that if any opponent is in it, they get stunned for like a second or two. Which normally that'd be like, oh, that's like really compelling. Like that's like an interesting mechanic. I should probably use this to my advantage. But everybody's moving around so much, and there's so much to like keep in your mind at any one given time, that I think the only time I ever actually used that power was by accident.
Fair enough.
I think my de facto like strategy for that game. There's a character that you get super early on. Surprise, surprise. She's like an 11-foot tall Minotaur lady, but because she is like of the Minotaur species, her special thing is that normally characters have like a dash, and the dash will stop when you hit terrain or hit an opponent, right? Surprise, surprise, her thing, if she hits terrain, she still stops, but if she hits an opponent, she'll just push them. And so it's like, okay, I'm just gonna like take this and just like push you, and then slam dunk it into your goal, and boom, I got a point. And that carried me through like 50% of the game, and I was like, wow, this is balanced. Like, good job. And then I think I talked about it before, but like the narrative of Pyre is also very strange because it doesn't actually have like one narrative. The whole point of the game is that you're supposed to get all 13 characters, and then slowly over the course of 13 playthroughs, or no, sorry, not 13, it would be 10 playthroughs, I guess. You're trying to get 10 of the 13 characters to all like essentially ascend to like heaven. So the idea is that your first playthrough, you get all 13, and then you choose one to ascend, so you're minus one character. And then you do the same campaign again and again and again, getting rid of all the rest until there's 3 left, and then that's when you get your true ending. Ooh. And once again, I'm like, I don't want to play this. I don't want to play the sports ball anymore. every campaign is like a bunch of story stuff, which is a lot of reading. Which, you know, you may or may not enjoy that. I know Grant wouldn't, but you have all this reading, and every campaign is 8 games of this sports ball thing. And so, in my mind, when you reset to do the next run, my assumption would be that you get, I don't know, like maybe the difficulty. Oh my god. My assumption would be that maybe the difficulty continues to spike or something like that. You know what I mean? Like maybe after each run, it still gets more and more difficult over time. No, it just resets to being easy street at the very beginning, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna like waste my time then. I would definitely not say Pyre is definitely not a masterpiece. Hades, however, is absolutely a masterpiece, because damn, that game's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Lawrence is dead. There's no way Lawrence survives. Oh my god, he's alive. How are you gonna do this, Lawrence?
He played college ball, bitch! He played college ball!
Holy shit, he's doing it.
Oh my god, this is just
he's beginning to believe he's dead.
Oh god.
He turned it into a statue.
Damn.
All right. I don't know if you unlocked any new characters. So if you didn't unlock any new characters, if you go to the power up instead of play. So these are expensive, but you can literally upgrade the items that you've been picking up.
Good lord, 900. 9 honey.
I would definitely pick up either a...
Oh, that's
yeah, well, I mean, you haven't
though.
even picked up a duplicator wand yet. Or a duplicator ring.
900. Oof.
I would definitely invest in might, but that's just me. Just because damage is really important, obviously. Damage is important. You need to be able to kill the skeletons in like one dagger throw. I don't even think you have this item yet.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, it's the spellbinder. The spellbinder makes it so that way things that have like an AoE effect are larger. But I haven't seen you pick it up yet, so I don't think you've unlocked it.
I'm gonna say I'll just go basic damage.
I think that's pretty safe.
Now, before I start, I want to see this meme that that Grant threw in. Because just from the thumbnail alone, it looks pretty silly.
If I play this, will I get copyright struck, Grant?
Yes.
Maybe.
Because it plays a song.
Oh.
So I wanted to ask Lawrence and Saba specifically, because Zach doesn't play Genshin, but I want to know, what hooked you guys?
The anime characters.
That's probably
Was it the
it.
hot anime characters?
Oh, I don't care about them being necessarily hot. I just care about it being.
Well, you
like,
should. No.
That's always like a part of it, Grant. Okay, you can't just rely all of it, though. I know some people do that.
What hooked me into that?
'Cause I was thinking about giving it a second shot, but I'm like, do I want to? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not you, so I can't necessarily say whether or not, even if like I tell you how much I like it, it'll like still like get you like hooked in.
Yeah.
I think I have an answer for me personally. The way the open world is portrayed, because you know, you start the game, you're in the first region. It's like,
Right.
it's just a game. But then you're told to go to the next region. I'm like, all right, time to go through a loading screen and to get there. But no, you just walk there, and you see the environment slowly change from green grasslands to yellow valleys, and then you start to see the city off in the distance, and you can go there and like, that's cool. And then as you progress more with the story, you know what, Zach? I'll pick the whip for you. As you progress with the story, you start doing like a little bit more environmental stuff, like some parts of the environment will change, and you can see that from the other side of the map.
Okay.
Like you can see like the Japan region that came out most recently, but that was like 6 months ago, but it's still technically recently. You can see that from the other nations, like just one sliver of light on an island, because the light is showing off like one of the most important places in that region. You could see that from there, and from there you can see the tallest mountain from the other side of the map, and it's like you could see all the stuff that you did, and I think that's just really cool. So basically, I like how it does open world stuff.
Okay.
And that's me talking about that, and I don't usually like open world stuff.
I'm gonna back up kind of what Lawrence is saying.
Genshin
Like
Impact
I
a
really
masterpiece?
like.
Is what?
Is Genshin
Zach?
Impact a masterpiece?
Oh. Usually I would say no. But then again, it's free. We talked about
It is actually really impressive for what it is.
There's
And I was
no
about
other
to-
game that I have played consistently in an entire year.
Oh wow.
It's fun. Was it a masterpiece? Not really. But damn it, is it fun?
It's like it is. I would say a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I would go as far as to say masterpiece, though. I don't know that part.
Masterful, not masterpiece.
But I will
That being
say,
said,
like,
I would say it's still young in its development. It needs a little bit more.
true. Like it's only like a quarter of the way finished, right?
Quarter of the way sounds right. By the way, game's not done, so that's why I can't exactly call it a masterpiece yet.
Does it count as not being done, or is it just gas?
Not done.
It's an MMO, so I don't know if you can say that it's not done.
Not an MMO.
It's not really an MMO.
It's not done.
Okay, sure.
There is a set storyline, and it's clearly not done.
There's a
But
set storyline in Final Fantasy XIV as well.
Oh my God, Zach.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I have
saying
no reference to that, so I
saying
don't
it's
know.
not done seems disingenuous because it just seems like gas. That's all. It seems like a game as a service thing.
Anywho, what I wanted to say though, Grant, like at least for me, a part that I really like about it, like I think it has really interesting characters that are pretty unique. And like every single time they continue to kind of add characters for the most part. Like I've been like I don't particularly care about this like one person, like only like 1 or 2 times. But for the rest of the time, like I'm usually super hyped because the way they kind of wrap these characters into the story just makes me really like the characters in general. So
Okay.
I'd say that's also really helpful. As soon
A
as
lot
I
of the
saw
characters are
Toma,
fun.
Lawrence, I was hooked.
Toma is the hot housekeeper who's also
He's not necessarily a housekeeper. He just really he takes his duties like, really well. He's like, it's
yeah,
important
correct.
to
His
know
official
how to-
title is housekeeper, though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
his housekeeper, but he also does it for like everyone. So he's a cool guy.
So Saba, you like it because you get a butler and
Yeah.
Dude, he's amazing. Great guy.
I've heard Saba's hype over that character for a while.
I don't even know what it was, but it really appealed to me. And you know, Lawrence, I was like, everyone's like, you know, it's really good, right? And there was some characters that had come out that like now I'm like starting to really obsess over. But yeah, Tomo was the first. I was like, I need him, in like no matter what.
nice.
Saba has spent several hundreds of dollars.
No, I have never fallen to capitalism, and you have no proof.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that I like about Genshin. You don't need to spend
Capital.
a dime.
Yeah, so you technically
You can spend a dime.
don't. If you don't
You can-
fall into the pitfalls of it, and I think I was telling you this too. Fran.
You can beat the game without spending a dime. You can do like some of the extra end game stuff without spending a dime.
You can still try and probably get a bunch of characters without
You can
spending
still
it.
get a bunch of characters without spending a dime.
How
It's
much
pretty.
have you spent, Lawrence?
How much have I spent?
Now he's a different story. I don't know about Lawrence. I haven't paid anything. Lawrence, on the other hand,
Put a spotlight on me. Listen, I had some disposable income, so I'm like,
You're gonna
ah,
get
fuck it.
canceled.
I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'll just
no,
spend.
I think more people are
here.
like Lawrence though. Great. I don't think he's gonna get canceled over that.
Lawrence, you're gonna get canceled.
Anyway,
Oh no, not again!
I
Please!
guess tying this.
I didn't draw a
back to-
couple again, I swear! I have to draw another
Yeah,
card.
I know.
Don't get me on this, okay? I will get angry about this. Let's wrap this back to what freaking Zach was talking about. So Zach, Genshin's really good game, not finished. It's really nice. I don't know if it's a masterpiece, but it's a 10 out of 10. Anyway, continue.
What do we got for the next one, I suppose?
I posted the list.
Oh. Oh, there it is.
Oh. Not
So yeah, best
screenshotted, I see.
It is not
Plants vs. Zombies.
screenshotted because at the time I was doing stuff with Kevin.
There.
I still really think Outer Wilds is good, and it may be interesting to have this conversation while Grant is here.
Well, I mean, Grant's only done one session of it, so I don't know if Grant even has
No, but I know,
enough of, even
but
enough
he,
of an opinion.
But it's interesting because I think we can bring up the idea we were talking about of people's preferences of how they game, and that sometimes like becomes irrelevant for certain games in terms of qualifying them as a masterpiece.
If your first first and only playthrough, I guess, is like really good, I would say it's still masterpiece worthy. It doesn't have to have replayable.
No, it's not about replayability. It's about, like, let's say Grant is apparently falls within this category, but like if you have people who don't necessarily
If you can even call them people.
Oh God, I didn't say that. Ooh.
True.
This is Zach.
Subhumans.
This is Zach spitting fire at the moment.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, if you have people who don't necessarily care to read dialogue, right? And then we throw a game like Outer Wilds onto them, right? And they like forego most of the dialogue because it's just not their play style, right? They may end up being like, well, Outer Wilds doesn't seem like much, right? But for like us, we would be like, you know what? Your opinion is invalid in this case because
Well, I would like to. I know Grant hasn't even said anything yet, but I would kind of like to preemptively come to his defense. Not because, like, I do agree that obviously, like, a big part of Outer Wilds is being able to have the patience to read some text on a wall. But also, I think that normally, if it was just Grant and Jesse playing with, like, no preference of recording, no color commentary, no nothing like that, I think that they would still be able to make it through the game. Although I don't know whether or not they would choose to finish the game, I guess, is the thing. I legitimately wonder whether or not Grant and Jesse would get to a certain point in Outer Wilds and just be like, it's not for me.
Yeah, just like I don't seem to be
That's
getting
entirely
anywhere.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a shame that like if that's the case, it'd be a shame because Outer Wilds is like one of my favorite games of all time. Like it definitely deserves attention, but it's also just one of those things where like even if I can reasonably call something a masterpiece, which I feel like I can for Outer Wilds, the fact that somebody can still not like a masterpiece is totally valid, just disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's that.
That's fair.
No, we will
Zach,
yeet you off a cliff, Grant, if you dislike this game. Just so
Okay.
you're aware. You're not gonna live after this.
I'm not
If you
living.
say.
We'll throw you in the black hole. You'll live and come out somewhere else.
And he'll
but-
just come out
Yeah.
somewhere very far away.
You'll
It's
never
okay,
know.
just as long as we never have to see. So no one can hear your opinion. That is
No one can hear you
bad.
scream.
Yeah. I don't know if Zach told you guys, but he and I actually talked about this. Where Zach goes, "Do you like the game?"
It's only been like
'Cause-
4 hours, but how are you feeling so far?
Yeah. Because you said in the VOD I was a little like nonplussed or whatever.
Oh, that's an orb. Pick that up. Pick that up. Look,
Oh my god!
garlic is a weapon, by the way.
Can.
Garlic is a weapon.
That's awesome.
We'll try it out then.
Garlic just puts a halo around you that deals damage.
Oh, I guess
you
we'll go 10.
you want spinach because spinach will upgrade. You have 3 levels on your fire wand left. If you have spinach, it'll upgrade to a better version of it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, and I mean, my answer is I don't think I've played enough of it. You know,
Yeah.
we've only done one session,
True.
and
And we have like 9 sessions left.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm really sorry because it slipped my mind. I will not be here next Sunday because we're going someplace to celebrate my mother's birthday. I won't be here on Sunday specifically.
Sunday specific.
Dun.
Wow.
So I will be executed for my transgressions. I understand.
Reason.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no, like I said, the game's very cool. It's very neat, and I didn't realize, because I didn't know like almost anything before going in. I didn't even know there was like Groundhog Day scenario.
Yeah, I've had that
yeah.
experience. I came in the game knowing nothing.
Oh yeah, and Jesse was like, "Oh yeah, it's you know you're on a timer or whatever," and it's like, "Oh okay, cool. Well, now we're on a timer. We got to do
I was,
some shit."
I was a little sad when Jesse
Knew that right off the bat.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So like
Yeah,
the
'cause,
context of why the time loop or whatever exists is like that's like the big thing. So it's like if you already kind of knew that you're resetting, you're already looking forward to something that's gonna cause a reset.
Was that?
Yeah.
Did we ever have that clip of my first reaction of seeing the sun explode? Because I got fucking tricked. I don't know if Zach told you about
I
this,
think we
but,
do.
What happened?
but like I was just standing on, I think it was still Brittle Hollow, and the music started playing. Of course, I don't really
He had
think
no
much
context for
of it
what the music meant.
because it was
Right.
just background music to me. And then Zach was like, "All right, let's slow it down a little bit. What do you think of the game?" So I'm there talking about the game, like, all right, very peaceful. I'm enjoying my experience, and the sun is shrinking. The sun is gone. Oh, so does that mean I have to play the? Oh, hold on. There's a bright light coming.
Wait a
This won't
minute.
kill me, right? This won't kill
Big
me.
fast chuckle nuts.
I'm about to get flashbanged.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful moment because it was so perfect. Like a lot of what, like, once again, I do really wish that, like, obviously circumstances didn't really work out because it was like during the peak of like COVID California or whatever, but like a lot of the circumstances that Lawrence encountered were absolutely photogenic when it comes to, like, man, I wish we were recording this under better circumstances, because like that was the thing. Like Lawrence didn't know about the sun exploding. Saba didn't know about the sun exploding because I was just showing both of you guys for the first time, you know, because
Yeah.
Saba was just watching via Discord. And so you know, like just and exactly as Lawrence just described it, just the moment of like, all right, well, let's just talk about what's been going on so far, and then we did. And then Lawrence just dies, and he's and then like he respawns looking up at Giant's Deep or whatever. And Lawrence is like, now what? And I'm like, do it again.
Yeah, I was just like,
run it back.
I was just like, what the fuck just happened? When I got, because like, letting me know, that was the first time also seeing the cutscene of us going back in time.
Oh.
So, like, it zooms into the mask, and you can see everything that I did. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
That's
It's an
cool.
experience.
It was
it
was just picturesque the way that Lawrence was able to do it. So unfortunately, like because of your and Jesse's like gung-ho nature so far, some of those really cool moments have been skipped a little bit. Like the like I don't know, like obviously the clip of Lawrence discovering the black hole for the first time was like flawless, whereas like when Jesse discovered the black hole, it was because he like face planted against a wall and then didn't look down.
Yeah, and then we're like, oh, there's a black hole down there. Oh shit.
Yeah, I remember Lawrence like trying to go through it, and I'm just like, I can't look at it. It's making me nauseous. I don't want to do this anymore.
Because that's a shit that I did not expect. Like,
who
there
expects
should
a
be
black
normal
hole being in
core.
the center of a planet?
I don't know.
You know, I don't know. It was just fun. So I don't know. I really hope that you and Jesse have a good time in general.
I feel like I don't know if Jesse, maybe Jesse feels the same way. I feel like there's a pressure, and not just of like playing the game and stream, but you guys have talked this game up so much. It's like, I really hope I enjoy it. Oh God.
That's kind of the nature of the beast, you know, because it's like it's kind of like I remember back before Undertale was like super hugely popular. I remember Total Biscuit did a review. The attract orb's really powerful, by the way. I remember Total Biscuit did a review about Undertale, and it was his first and only review before he died, where the review was like 3 minutes long. Literally all he did was he was just like, this is a game made by Toby Fox. It's an indie game, so it has like some challenging art aesthetic sort of stuff, so that I promise you are like okay. Play it. It's excellent. Just play it. No, sorry, he didn't even say it was excellent. He was just like, you should play this game. And so I went in with like zero expectations, because I think it was on sale at the time as well, so I bought it for like $12. Binged the entire game in one session and was like, that was an experience, dude. Like Undertale the first time, back before anybody was really talking about it, was incredible. And so
nice.
Your thing that you just mentioned of like, man, I like there's a lot of hype built up around the game. Unfortunately, that's kind of the thing, because like, why would we be playing something like even if me, Lawrence, and Saba hadn't been talking about the game at all, the fact that I've played it 4 times, Lawrence has played it 3 times, and Saba has played / watched it 3 times as well, like that must mean that it's good, because why would we be showing it to other people, you know? So like that kind of inherently comes along with it. And it's the sort of thing where it's just like, I know Saba made the joke about like, if you don't like this game, we're gonna chuck you into the sun, which we will, but
yeah, understandable.
But I don't know, like the point of the point of this experience isn't necessarily for you to be like, oh yeah, this game's like fantastic or whatever. It's more just because there's a lot of stuff left to experience in the game that we really just want to get your guys's, like, we're literally just like vampires right now, where we have sat you and Jesse at a dinner table. Oh, you know what? We're Captain Barbosa. We're Captain Barbosa when he sets out the meal for what's her face. Yeah, and he's just like, I just want to like, we just want to see someone experience this again for the first time, because we never can ever again.
It's JoJo's all over again.
It's showing someone new JoJo's all over again. Absolutely.
I guess what it boils down to is I want to like the game, so there. I do want to like it.
So I will say it's not like your fault though. I will say that the game does require you can only kind of discover like partially stuff through its narrative, which you have to read. So if you're like weaker on like the reading side, it can be a bit.
If you're a weakling.
You calling me dumb?
She doesn't deny it.
I will say I had a conversation about this with Zach. I didn't call.
Getting bullied.
Oh no.
She did not. She did not outright call you guys stupid. She did not say that.
Yeah, I did not say that.
She alluded to it heavily.
I will say, yeah, if reading's not your thing though, that's like highly unfortunate. Like
I didn't know
it'll
that reading. I had to be reading. Like I was expecting. Like again, I didn't know anything about the game, so I was just like, all right, I'll tune back in when stuff's happening, and I just kind of tuned out and just would talk.
I think that. And obviously this is difficult because there's 5 people doing color commentary at the same time. But I guess in theory, what I was kind of hoping for with you, because obviously I wanted you to play this game, but your internet is poor enough to the point where I don't know if we'd be able to do it properly. So that's why we brought in Jesse, which I'm glad that Jesse is playing it because Jesse also had an interest. But it's a lot less of a personal experience when you're essentially sharing the experience among 2 people. So I guess my hope was that you and Jesse would be, I don't know, like, because you guys don't understand anything that's happening just quite yet. And I don't know, I guess I was kind of hoping that you guys would be discussing a little bit more about like, what should we do next? What should we do? Let's do something. But then the thing is that like they're so early in the game and there's so much left to like encounter for the first time that it makes sense that they're not discussing anything, because Jesse's just kind of running around like a chicken with his head cut off and discovering all this new shit all over the place. You know what I mean?
I think the example I think the example I gave though while you guys were playing, that I was like, okay, genuinely all you needed to do was like properly kind of look at what the text was saying and just think about a little bit, was during that the quantum like tower, which I think because Jesse didn't actually end up reading the thing or didn't acknowledge what was happening properly, he was just like running around in circles, and I'm like, Jesse, it doesn't even, it's less than a sentence. You have to read it and like think about it.
I will say for the quantum tower that I got a little nervous when you found it, because I didn't think you would understand the full context of
maybe that's
what's going on, because like when I found it I was already, I don't want to say quite familiar with quantum mechanics, but like I already had an interest on it. Like I knew what was going on. It's really weird. So when I found this tower that tells me a little bit of the secret of how quantum mechanics work, like that's cool. Yeah. But when you guys did it, it was just like, oh, cool. There's a tower here.
Like I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible.
So that's why like on my seat I'm like, is it
they don't seem to necessarily grasp how significant that location was just quite yet, because you're not supposed to find it yet. Like Grant,
I found it way late.
Like Grant, you may or may not have caught me when I said it, or not. You might have caught me. It's not like I was saying it in secret, but like there was a period of time where I was contemplating like giving a 1 to 3 star system for how difficult a puzzle should be. And while the quantum tower itself is not a difficult puzzle, you guys definitely shouldn't have discovered it just quite yet. But like Jesse just kind of inherently being kind of clever and just being like, oh, I'm just gonna like go over the vortex. Because, by the way, that's not how any of the other vortexes work in the entire game. All the other vortexes just shoot you directly up into the atmosphere, you know what I mean? So, at least my assumption was that the giant vortex would do the exact same. I never thought of going up and over, but Jesse immediately tried that, and I'm like, what? Why? Is it because he's not? Is it because he wasn't paying attention to what the vortexes do, and he just tried?
I mentioned it when I was talking with Zach about this, but I didn't realize how similar Jesse and I are, because I don't truth be told, I don't know Jesse. I don't know him. So that's another reason why we're not really talking one-on-one and kind of talking to you guys or occasionally to each other. We don't know each other.
Yeah, that's totally fair. You know, that's what game night's all about. You know.
Yeah, but also like because my
I'm not
kind of thing was I was like, oh, Jesse's reading this, so he could tell me what's going on.
He definitely
And
was
so that's
not
why-
reading it.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, he would click from one to the next, and I'm like, he's probably reading that anyways. And then as soon as we did the
Okay.
quantum thing, and Saba, you were like, have you guys not been reading it? And Jesse's silent. I go, oh no, we've both been not paying attention.
I can't,
Oh
I can't
way too
even begin to deny how funny it was though when you guys were like just skipping through text. And like this was after Saba made the initial like you guys haven't been reading, because Jesse like just walked away from a podium or whatever, and I'm like, you need just go back and read it. He turns around and the podium's gone because it's quantum, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and now it's gone.
I think Zach was also like, because I think I started getting like a tiny bit frustrated because I'm someone who like usually likes to read the stuff to a certain degree, and to have Jesse just immediately click off, I'm like, Jesse, and then Zach on top of that was like, stop like spoiling. I'm like, I'm not spoiling it. He actually needs to read it. Please, for the love of
Jesse
God,
was
help
just
me.
like a speed reader, and so I was like, damn, he's reading fast. All right, I'm just not gonna pay attention.
It's a nigh impossible thing to discern whether or not we should intervene at any given moment, because once again, if it was just you and Jesse sitting in a room not having to like do color commentary or anything else like that, you guys would probably be fine.
It would
you
be a lot
you,
more awkward.
Well, it would be a lot more
It'd be a
awkward,
lot
obviously,
more
but I'm just
awkward.
saying,
Like,
like,
you're
in
gonna
terms of,
dial
like, the
over-
experience of
Yeah.
actually playing the game, I feel like you guys would be a lot more okay in terms of, like, if you didn't figure out the quantum tower, you probably would have just been stuck in there for a bit, the sun would have exploded, and then hopefully you guys would have been like, let's go look at something else. And then you would have went back to the quantum tower later.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Let me use the bathroom real quick.
Okay, I will take over.
Be safe.
I will take over. I will play the video game.
Is
Why'd
that
you just shoot a
gamers,
fireball
Zach?
literally at no bit enemies? This is Alucard,
What a fool.
please. Sorry, not Alucard.
Yeah.
Legally distinct Alucard.
Definitely not Alucard.
But yeah. Anyway, we obviously don't really need to cover any more ground when it comes to the Outer Wilds thing. It's just, I don't know. It's a very pendulum swing from when we showed it to Colin, for the reasons we already dictated, because Colin was immediately enthralled by the game, but his playstyle was so careful and observant that like nothing funny happened. Whereas you guys, within 3 seconds of getting access to the spaceship, immediately tried to land on a flying ice cube and slipped off. That's fucking hilarious.
We
that's
almost had it too.
that's incredible. That was incredibly funny. So I can't knock you guys for that. It was just great overall.
I am excited to continue the game, but I am sad that we couldn't play it today, or we can't play it next week.
I hope your mother has a good birthday. I wish your mother a happy birthday.
Thanks.
He's
Now I have to
reining
think,
it in.
you know what? Fuck it. Let's invite Jesse on next week and let's have the durability conversation without Grant.
Oh my god.
Of spite.
Oh, but now we do need to brainstorm what we're gonna do next week.
Zach, the conversation is gonna go. All right, Zach, being durability's bad. Next topic.
Because Grant can't stop me.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not there to contest it.
And then Grant somehow on his phone just
Yeah,
jumps into the call being like, "You're wrong, Zach," and then leaves. And since you're gone,
wrong.
Zach literally can't refute you.
Yeah, there you go.
Ugh.
Game has been entertaining.
Oh,
I think this is exactly what we needed, Zach. As
What,
like it
Vampire
going on
Survivor?
in the background. Yeah, going on in the background. It's perfect.
You good?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That's a level of laugh I haven't heard from Zach. That
Yeah,
feels like
I
like
could
a
hear
mad-
him bring his hands up to his face.
Oh, it just makes me feel like I'm going insane a little bit because like I like my brain just kind of shut off immediately because I was trying to immediately think of like, is Saba joking or is she being serious? And then suddenly I had the realization of like, it doesn't matter. Because Vampire Survivor is fucking stupid and cool and I love playing it, despite the fact that I only just bought it today. And it's just like, I don't know, there's just something about it that just made me feel like a lunatic for a split second.
Good game.
Yeah, I got mad clown vibes coming from that laugh of yours.
Mad clown
vibes.
Get fucked. Oh boy.
That's a wild description.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the plot of today's podcasty episode has been kind of lost a little bit, but overall, I feel like our over/under of just like making a list of things that could be considered, what'd you call it? Could be considered masterpieces has grown, I guess, or not even grown. I think like because I don't even know if we've necessarily like definitively confirmed that anything is a masterpiece.
And when everything's a masterpiece, nothing
will be. No, but I mean like because I said it at the top of the when we started the discussion, but I said it at the top of it where my explicit intention for this discussion was that there is definitively something that separates a 10 out of 10 from being a masterpiece. And I wanted to get closer to defining what that is. And while this conversation was good and I had a great time with it, I don't feel like we're any closer to answering that question.
It's a difficult
We
question
have
to
locked
answer.
onto
because
more stuff though.
We've locked on to more factors, but like I don't know, I was hoping that we would figure out something a little bit more definitive, other than just like. Because like the only thing that I can really latch onto is just the thing that Saba and I had already said like however many weeks ago, or not even weeks ago, but like days ago, which was a masterpiece is something that has enough masterful components to be considered a masterpiece. And I'm like, I guess that makes sense, obviously, but I'm still not satisfied. I guess.
But that doesn't mean I'm happy with it.
I'm not happy with it, you know?
Yeah, sure. I don't know, man.
It's very difficult to answer just because I feel like for every masterpiece, it's different from one another.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I agree.
I also feel like if we were to kind of just look at it on the surface level, we would only be able to come up with one or two answers because it would also be reflected on as we said, like how the community feels about it. So I would say like Journey, and then I would have to spend more time thinking. Not even Oberdin. I haven't heard like as much about Oberdin as I have about Journey.
Oberdin got so many awards, man.
And maybe it's because I'm not like it. I don't know as like much. So maybe you maybe Zach could like say better that
like,
yeah.
Like,
Oberdin
and this is one of the, and I guess
Journey.
this is one of the things that in my mind like tells me that like Outer Wilds must be a masterpiece because like both Oberdin, excuse me, and Outer Wilds won BAFTAs, and that's like really impressive.
BAFTA Beyond.
Oh, Journey and Hades. Those are two I can think of.
Hades is definitely a masterpiece. You can say that.
Kind of tangential topic, but Zach, do you remember when Funhouse they did for a short time? They went through everyone's favorite games. And there was just like
I skipped most of them, but I do remember a lot of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was just like a really cool thing that I wish we could do if we were obviously doing this in person.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But would you say that your favorite game, everyone's, is a masterpiece? Because what is everyone's favorite game? Zach, I assume Outer Wilds.
My favorite game might be Journey.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, which we've already kind of said multiple times.
Man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't.
I don't know if I can answer that. What is
Yeah.
my favorite game?
I don't
don't
think
have
I
a
have a
favorite game?
favorite, but something really high up is Hades.
It's as hard of a question to answer as what's my favorite music, because
What's your favorite
There are
movie?
so many
Because it
things that are
changes.
so good in so many different ways.
so many different
Yeah.
ways, but some shine at this very moment compared to
More than others.
overall.
Because I think the more accurate answer would be, because I feel like I've actually heard people talk about it's better to actually ask the question, what's your favorite like music at this time? Because if you were to ask of all time, obviously that answer is going to be like near impossible to come up with.
Because I
So if you said, like,
remember
right
I remember
now-
my favorite game of all time used to be Shadow of the Colossus, and I still think
Yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus is an
Fantastic.
incredible game. It's still very, very, very good. But then I don't know, stuff changed. I don't know. I got a new appreciation for Journey because it came out on PC.
Oh,
got to see
like
the
right now,
stars.
I really, really like Tales of Arise. I don't know if like I would still call it. Like, I haven't like finished it yet to like qualify it, but yeah, things change, I guess, for people during certain times. Yeah. So asking what's your favorite thing right now may be an easier question. Lawrence,
My,
answer.
my
Same idea.
favorite thing right now, honestly, the same game that I said is not a masterpiece, at least not yet. Genshin Impact.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Shun him.
Fool yourself.
I would say it's very masterful, though, Lawrence. I would say it has potential to be a masterpiece.
It's just a very charming game that when I just turn it on, I'm super relaxed. All the stress of my day just slowly withers away. I'm like,
garlic
I'm
snack.
having fun.
No, I want to go.
It's obviously specifically designed to be like a dig against the Genshin Impact community, but I will say that my first like exposure to Genshin Impact before it got like super popular was a post on Twitter where somebody was like, don't worry, don't mind me guys, just getting ready to play Genshin Impact. And it was the classic like FBI breaking into the person's house.
So masterful, but not masterpiece.
Normally, it gets probably pretty close.
That is a good
I would
question
say,
though, because like, yeah. Sorry, please continue.
I just wanted to like include. I mean, normally games that people like normally are good, right? People don't tend to like bad games. So to a certain degree,
I
you're
don't
probably
know.
going to fall
Alana Pierce
close
likes
into.
fucking Deadly
Fable.
Premonition.
Oh, that
Okay,
too.
a lot of sane people tend to like
All I'm saying, people.
tend to like good games, you know. So I feel like a good
How
like
dare you
quarter
have
of like the
another
time,
opinion?
a good quarter of the time.
Gone.
Great, we're probably gonna choose a game that's actually probably pretty good on like a good scale. Maybe
Right,
not always
yeah,
like a
but is it a
masterpiece, but
masterpiece?
masterful.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about it, and I think I said it before, but like, while Journey is like probably my favorite game, just because I think it is I think it's possibly I think if they were doing it, I think they could put Journey on the golden disc that they shot into space. Like I think
Sure.
that it would be a
It
very
was really
good. I
good,
think it would be
yeah.
a very good exemplar of like the types of things that humans make for culture, at least in my opinion. But then again, my favorite game to play is still Hat in Time.
Ooh,
And
I
is that
started
game
that,
and is
by the
that
way.
game a masterpiece? Fuck no. It's ugly as sin.
I started playing Hat.
Grant,
I
you
would
want
say
to do
it's-
co-op Hat in Time?
Did you guys do it on
too,
stream?
it's too
Yeah, we did
soft
it.
in
Lawrence
my
and I
heart.
did it, and Lawrence did very
Lawrence
well.
and him. Yeah.
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 I
It's
think I just played
it's too
Portal.
soft in my heart. I honestly, personally, would call it a masterpiece.
What, Hat in Time?
Hat in
Yeah,
Time.
it strikes too well in my heart. It's like,
Oh, that's really
Oh,
sweet.
It's too close.
It's too
He has
close.
a weakness.
He has a weakness. All
Oh my
right.
god, Zach. Oh.
All right, motherfuckers. Boom.
Oh, he's clear.
the bats! I'm alive.
Wait, I think the bat
Ow.
saved you, Zach.
I think the bats
might
pushed the
have.
skeletons into my garlic, killing them.
Oh, that's what you're using, the garlic.
Oh shit!
garlic
There was a guy that
seems
made
really
it
good.
through.
Fucked up.
There was a guy that
You're
made it
getting
through. I
fucked
didn't
up.
see him. But there you go. I should be fine as long as I pay attention.
I was gonna say, why is it? This is why I choose new items so I can test them out. I never really gave a garlic a good test.
Well,
Well,
the next,
you'll notice that you'll notice that instead of having a bunch of like random bullshit passives, I have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, but you're looking at a screen that's telling you what the best items are. I had to figure them out.
I'm not. Well,
You
I mean, to be
did.
fair,
You did.
I guess the equivalent of that non-existent screen is the fact that I've watched like
God, there's so
like
many of
40
them,
hours
Zach.
of live streams of
There
Vampire
you
Survivors
go.
so far.
That could be it.
That could be a factor as to why I know what's good and not.
Dude, more
Like,
garlic, man.
it's like, get past this obstacle course. It's like, what do you mean you
Oh,
can't
is this the
do
first
it?
time we've
I have
seen
watched
werewolves?
other people do it.
This is the first time we've seen werewolves because usually Lawrence dies by now.
Lawrence!
Werewolves of London.
True.
Dude, I
Because
need to level
I didn't
up.
know garlic was broken.
Garlic is kind of broken, but the thing is that once they get through the ring, you're fucked.
You're fucked.
That's if they get through your ring.
Well, now the second topic conversation. What's your favorite song, Lawrence?
Oh,
Oh, yikes. Good luck with that.
fuck is my
what's your
favorite song.
favorite song? Do it right now. Tell me.
Hold
You
on,
have
let
5
me
seconds
pull out.
before I pull the
Oh
trigger.
shit!
I'm gonna set off the detonator that I put under your chair.
More
Oh,
garlic.
please don't.
Garlic.
Oh shoot, what's that song called?
Zach hates me.
Hold on, wait a second.
that was
Wait a
off.
second. I know the song. I just need to remember the title.
Yeah, my finger is on the button right now.
Oh no, you figured
On
that.
the
you better
red button
hurry.
to be specific.
Yeah, on the red button right now. Oh my god.
There was a bunch of ghosts.
What'd you do?
Yeah, reached level 20 in the Mad Forest. We unlocked the next level.
Oh, there's another level.
Oh yeah, there's
There's
3, I
another
think.
level? What the fuck?
All right, what do I want? I don't want any of this garbage. I'll take this.
The song is "Someday" featuring Amari, whatever her name is, from the Great Pretender OST.
Oh,
It's a wonderful song.
cool.
It's very nice and sweet and sad if you know the context,
Well,
but super nice.
cool.
Now everyone
Solid.
else share your things.
I
Solid
can't hear
before I
you,
press
Grant.
the detonator.
For some reason, I don't know what you're saying, Grant. Can you like? I can't.
What's your favorite song?
I can't hear. For some reason, I can't hear Lawrence now.
This is great for the audio quality.
Yikes.
Listen,
Okay.
we only peak. We only peak.
Yeah. We only peak, we never go
What can I
down.
say? Okay, I guess I'll just link this to my favorite movie, being
sound
Howl's
loud.
Movie's Castle.
Ah, literally pick any soundtrack from that, and I'm like, good choice.
So the
There's only one
the
soundtrack.
main song probably is my favorite. So yeah,
Fair point, Zach.
there you go. You got an answer from me.
That's the most shit-eating thing I've said like all day.
There's only
Which-
one soundtrack.
So boys, I've given my answer. You know what that means, right?
What's
There
that?
are boys here.
Zach. Zach.
I mean, we know Zach's, don't we all?
You guys
has it
now get to
changed?
say it
I
again.
think
Zach.
I think my literal favorite song has remained exactly the same for
Okay.
years. But I will say that
2,000 years.
apparently it makes me uncultured, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm listening to music, it's just a video game OST.
That's fine.
That
So I
sounds
need you
like
to relay your answer again, Zach.
Huh?
I need you to say your answer again, Zach. I didn't hear your name.
What for the real like favorite song?
Yeah.
It's Piano Man because it was the last song I listened to with my grandmother before she died.
Very nice.
Well,
Sad,
damn.
but nice. Okay. We've got through everyone. Yay!
Wait a second. Did Grant say his thing?
I don't exist.
No.
Wait. Grant.
Grant's
you didn't answer?
I remember this one. Grant's favorite song
Zach
is
should know
Agron.
it. Yes! Zach, you got it!
Oh, that's great.
I've told you, Zach. Do you remember?
I mean,
my favorite
Grant,
song
you're
is.
talking to the person who doesn't even remember the first time you guys met, okay?
All
I
right,
know!
I don't know
I'll-
what to expect
I
from
knew
him.
through context.
I'll turn the tides. Lawrence, I've told you.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
No.
I'm so sorry,
No.
Lawrence. I can't believe he's done this to you.
Oh shit. You know, I got it. Easy.
Zach, could
remember.
you just go hardcore on garlic?
All
I
right,
want to see what
Grant,
it's like
your favorite-
ultimate garlic.
He's gone. Lawrence
He
is
was
getting
right.
better. Lawrence is getting better with the funnies.
With the funnies. He's still gone.
He is still
Okay.
gone. It's true.
Oh, I'd actually pressed the detonator.
Oh,
No, okay, that would explain
yeah.
it.
Wait, that wouldn't disconnect
Um,
him though. I don't think.
It would if it blew his computer up.
Oh, I guess so.
Well,
This is good gameplay.
just standing there.
I am very happy with this visually, yes.
The
actually
garlic is
satisfying.
powerful, Saba, but I need like more stuff.
Well, I think you'll be fine because so far every single thing you've leveled up, picked up so far has not even included garlic as an option.
It's true.
So,
Ta-da! Skeletons are
Grant.
present now.
Yes.
Grant, you wanna answer, Grant?
I was waiting for Lawrence to come back, but I don't know when he's coming back.
I think
He said you
he might
killed
just
him,
be
you know?
gone.
Yeah, he might just be gone. He might just be dead.
Wouldn't it be
blow
really
up his
funny
chair.
if he like left the server instead of hanging up, and now he's like, oh shit, I can't get back in.
Uh-oh. Guys.
No, he's still here. Oh, do you think that arrow I shot at him finally hit him?
I was like a week
Do
ago.
you think what Lawrence is doing is he's listening to streams, so when I tell you guys, he can come back and pretend like he knew it?
Maybe. It'd be nice to have an actual viewer.
The real answer is "One" by Metallica. Is my favorite song.
I never
Okay.
would have guessed that a million
One
years.
shows up immediately.
You told me this?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Oh no!
Back.
Lawrence is back.
You have an answer for us, Lawrence?
Lawrence, what is it?
What is what?
What is the answer, Lawrence?
What
What
is
I
love?
thought you were gonna do was you were gonna like leave and then listen to stream, so I would tell Saba and Zach, and you would come back like you knew it.
And you did come back literally just as he told us the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
One by Metallica?
yeah, there you go.
How did he know?
Knows.
You know,
Holy shit.
I wasn't on stream listening in. I don't know what you're talking about.
We certainly didn't have a spike in viewership for like 30 seconds.
We went from 1 viewer to 2.
Oh, I can't believe you knew that, Lawrence. Wow, that means so much to me.
Literally, I started sweating when you said that. Like, what if he's on? What if he's just watching on Switch right now?
I can't believe Grant like fucking
Sweating
called you
at the
out like
moment.
that though. That's pretty
What you
impressive.
don't realize, Lawrence, is that Grant was staring directly into his imaginary camera, looking right at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he baited me out. That's actually his second favorite music.
Yeah, really, Lawrence?
I was like, no.
Fucking Death Note, like theme starts playing.
I hate giant mantis.
I can feel my name being written on the black notebook.
Yes. Now to spell his last name. Where's the ego?
It's Saga Beam.
Is it A after E or E after A?
You should be safe then, Lawrence, I think.
I love that idea. No, I can't spell my last name, so I'm safe from the Death Note.
That was something I was always confused by with Death Note. What if more than one person shares a name? Do they all die?
So the idea of the death note is you have to think of the person, like specifically.
Okay.
Oh, no. I
But
think
if they have
maybe
the same
if he
name.
did think of multiple people, maybe. I don't know, with the same name.
I mean, it has to be one person at a time, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Does
don't
it?
know. Can his mind expand and think of
What
multiple
if I
people at
just
the
what
same
if I
time?
just think of, you know what, fuck them, and I just think of all the John Smiths in the world?
But can you, because you have to physically picture their face. So
Oh,
if you
you
go
do?
to Google Images.
Yeah, I'd go to Google. Go to Google Images and just do John Smith, John Smith, John Smith, John Smith.
I would say, along with that, I think you have to write John Smith several more times on the notebook.
I believe. I don't know. Death Note's weird.
That note's funky. That's why I like it.
Hell yeah, dude.
So with 9 minutes left in the stream, it would be really convenient for me if we could workshop what we're doing next Sunday. Not
Cooking
you.
stream.
You don't get to participate.
King stream?
Cooking stream.
I don't have
tub
I don't have a
stream.
camera.
I recently got a camera. I'm really
I should
happy
get
with
Cooking
it.
Simulator and then do a cooking.
I should.
Yeah. Cooking stream.
Hot tub stream.
Hot tub stream. I'll wear my bikini, don't worry. We'll get views.
Oh,
Oh my god, that's pretty funny. No,
Finally.
the bats fucking pushed it into me. That's so stupid. Oh, we got a new character.
Rattle me bones.
Oh.
Yeah!
We can't play as him, unfortunately, but we will eventually. Let's do her. Why not? There we go. Let's start. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys want to do another like podcasty thing like we did this week? I don't know how successful this was, but it was easy. Okay, great.
Yep, sure was.
We're just done then. Cool. God, I
is there
love
no
it.
other
I love it
game?
when my co-hosts who have Lawrence, I'm kicking you out of the fucking thing because you're touching buttons. There you go. You now have no control. You can resume what you were doing. But I really appreciate it when my co-hosts of 3 years when I ask them a question and then no one says fuck all.
You said I
was
couldn't
literally-
respond.
That is true. But I mean, if you have suggestions, I'll take them, I guess.
Well, then I'd want to be here for
Is there no other game on the list that we could Sunday?
If I had known ahead of time that we were going to be doing 2 weeks in a row of no Sunday stuff, we definitely could have done Yoku's Island Express. Because the game can easily be done in 8 hours. However, I didn't know that, so we did a podcast instead. So now we have the exact same problem for a second time, which is the fact that we have too much time to just do nothing, but not enough time to fit in a small game. So we have to do something that like fits right in that little nook.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been pretty satisfied with watching this game. You know, I think we're doing pretty well.
Pretty well.
4 more hours of this game.
I mean, we could.
I
Could
mean,
do Risk of Rain.
We do Risk of Rain so much already.
It's a good game.
It is, but it gets no viewership. Not that this is gonna get any viewership anyway, but
more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Were you counting on whatever Vampire Survivors to break the market
hey,
here?
Grant, would you believe me if I told you that this was the number 4 game on Twitch the other day?
Literally would not.
It was. I'm super serious because people like Ludwig were playing it.
Oh, play Warframe.
I don't want to play Warframe.
Play Destiny 2.
I don't own it.
It's 70 gigabytes and free. It's 70 gigabytes. Don't download it.
no DLC though. So just
No DLC. You could still do some like other stuff.
Oh right, I
played
don't
the
have
game.
garlic.
Just
you can show
standing in
the
the
other
back.
stuff like you can just show the other stuff like go on strikes and get yelled at by your teammate for not having the best DLC weapons.
Yeah, or you could
Yes, he spent
Do,
7
do
hours.
the vaults or whatever.
You can do PvP and get fucking scragged one after another.
True, you could do that. Do Castle Crashers.
We did Castle Crashers on stream. It was awful.
You did?
Yes, we did.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right. I was there.
You were. Oh, they're talking to me about forgetting things now.
Oh yeah, from one game on a stream to the first time you guys met.
That's different. He wasn't a person at that time.
I wasn't a person. I'm just getting roasted this stream. Saba calls me dumb. I wasn't a person. Man.
Hey,
Lawrence,
listen,
what do you
one
have
of
for
these
me?
is true. The other one's just offensive.
You are a masterpiece. I gotta bounce it out.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
Perfectly balanced.
So
It's all
something,
good for
as Zach would say, that has no definition. Good job.
me. What?
When did I say that? Did I say that?
Or we
You
have,
did say
we
that.
have,
Yeah.
we have yet to define
You
it.
said that.
I did?
Yeah.
That sounds like
Well-
me.
Play
Who's to say that's a bad thing?
Carrion.
I don't own Carrion.
4 hours.
By
of
Carrion.
Hades.
Dude, that's not enough for that.
Funny enough, we could probably do 4 hours of Hades. He's not wrong.
I'm gonna
nuts.
say. So we.
Well,
then
because
what's
in
on
theory,
for that?
the
I don't-
idea was that I wanted to do, I wanted to have Lawrence do all 4 of the Supergiant games. Like that was going to be like a mini series. That was like the
doing
plan.
Bastion, actually. Bastion's actually pretty short, right?
I don't think you could fit it into 4 hours. It is short, but I don't think it's that short. It might be though. Not sure.
Just do all 4 Supergiant games, 1 hour each.
That's not fair to
Let's go.
Transistor and Bastion. You could probably do that with Fire and Hades because they're not really the same. Like technically to like quote unquote beat the narrative of Hades, it takes like 50 hours or whatever. I guess it literally depends on how good you are at video games.
Yeah. How good at video games.
Because technically you could beat it in one try. There's technically nothing
you're that
preventing you
good.
from getting to the final boss.
Ooh.
What if we did
Well, there you
another
go.
podcast
Play-
stream
Play
and we
Team
did just play
Fortress
4
2.
more hours of Vampire Survivor? I'm thinking about it.
Play Slime Rancher.
We did do
Rancher's
Slime Rancher
fun.
on stream that one time, and it was a lot of fun.
It was
The
fun.
only downside was that was the stream where the one guy came in, started speaking some language I didn't recognize, got pissed that Saba wasn't talking sexy, and then signed me up for a bunch of porn websites.
Alrighty then.
That's really good.
Alright. What a lad.
That was an interesting experience.
Played Balloons.
We could do
Balloons
balloons.
won.
We could. That's something that's not super like bad. So that makes sense.
I'm just scrolling through your games.
Oh, you're looking at my Steam release list.
Yeah, it's just looking what you have.
Play Happy Wheels.
Wait, then why'd you say
Happy
Destiny? I don't
Wheels.
know Destiny.
Because I was looking at my game.
Oh, okay, understood. Oh, that makes sense why you transitioned to looking at mine, because I have to own it.
Yeah. Yeah. Play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I hear it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You want a Lawrence?
Wait, you serious?
We could, because I don't necessarily want to like plow through the game any faster than we're already doing it, but like we could. It's not like it's any real different than what we do on Sundays normally, or what we do on Fridays and Saturdays normally. The only difference will be that Adrian's not there and not watching.
Maybe.
Because depending, like my estimate was that we would finish Jetstream Sam's campaign next weekend, and then on Sunday we could just immediately jump into Blade Wolf's campaign.
Maybe.
Play
But I'm
Life is
also interested to
Strange.
see what other games
I don't own that, do
Saba
I?
would split
You own
brain.
Life is Strange. You have like 7 hours on it.
Oh,
Oh, you own the free version, the first episode.
Oh.
Wait, 7 hours of the first episode?
I
That's a
probably
lot.
left it running for Steam trading cards.
Alright.
Understandable.
I do that a lot. Oh man, give me wall chicken. No, that's a coin. Give me wall
I was about to ask,
chicken.
what the heck is happening in the first chapter that results in
Dead.
7? Oh no!
I didn't get any garlic. Well, that's
Yo,
stream. All right.
All right.
I would describe this stream as a trash fire, both technically and masterfully, but that's okay because I had
Masterpiece.
fun.
Most trash fires can't be masterpieces.
I will actually probably just end up playing a fuck ton more Vampire Survivors over the course of like the remainder of today. So yeah. All right. Well, that's a
Cool.
Sunday stream. Thank you very much for stopping by, Grant. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad I could join. Thanks for having me. I thought we started at 2.
It's
No
fine.
worries.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Bye.
So,
I don't know what he said.